This is The Stuff Dreams Are Made Of. I'm writer-collector Ryan Condal.
And I'm writer-collector Dave Mandel, and we got a biggie. We got a real biggie. There's no other way of saying it. I feel like we gotta move. We gotta just stick and move. Stick and move. We gotta move. How are you good?
I brought a friend, Dave. A bottle of Yamazaki 12. We're doing our first pour right now because
the Stuff Dreams Are Made Of, brought to you by Yamazaki 12 and Diet Coke. The stuff dreams truly are made of. So yeah,
there's no time like Centauri time. But we have a long road ahead, so I'm going to lubricate slowly.
I like it. Very good. I guess that's the advantage of your late night, once again, my morning. So yeah, we have it's a very exciting week here in the Mandel house. My son has COVID and my poor wife is in Maine where her sister is, at this moment has actually passed away last night. It's very sad. And so it's just,
oh my God,
it's a true shit show here at the Mandel house.
Dave,
and I'd like to say, for those of you who watch, thank you. For those of you watching on YouTube, ta-da, you're getting the full unshaved, unshowered, just like blah. So there's part one of what's new in props. Just a big load of crap. So yeah, one hopes everything for the best ultimately, but just a shitty week here in Propville. Yeah, thank you.
I'm sorry, man.
No, yeah. The one thing I was going to say, which is a very strange thing, is I did pick up an animation cell this week, a very funny animation cell, just to try and get back on track and right the ship here. The props being, as all hobbies often are for me, a great distraction, dare I say, at times of sort of, something to sort of, this is a good day for me to just sort through things and whatever, just to kind of, keep occupied, if that makes any sense. But I picked up, found it, someone sent it to me actually. A guy, a wonderful guy from HBO sent it to me. He saw a Simpsons cell online from a UK animation place. But what was really neat about it was got a Dr. Nick ad. It's a close-up of a Yellow Pages, so you get to see various doctor ads. So there's a Dr. Hibbert ad, and then sort of a less scrupulous Dr. Nick ad. And for the Dr. Nick, yeah, exactly. And for the Dr. Nick ad, they actually used the address of the Harvard Lampoon in Cambridge, Massachusetts, which is where I guess, for lack of a better word, learned to be a comedy writer. And so I grabbed it to get sort of something that kind of now covers both my animation collection, a little bit of prop collection, if you think about Simpsons animation as props, and then also connected to sort of me and my career and all that kind of stuff. Many Harvard Lampoon people writing at The Simpsons. And so it was a very fun, sort of very reasonably priced, dare I say, small pickup that kind of was delivered really quickly by these people, and I already have it, which is crazy. I sort of ordered it and it came within a couple of days. So that was a very nice quick little pickup for me. That's in great. My sort of prop week. How about you? What's new in props?
A reference to the anvil on which David Mandel was forged as a comedy writer. I like that. I was quoting Dr. Nick this week. I don't even know how it happened. I was talking to somebody on the show.
That seems like a very specific situation to actually find a use for a
I don't know
quote.
But I always love the one where why if it's flammable, why does it say inflammable? I love that line as his laboratory is burning down. Just a good one. The complexities of the English language. So you can actually see what's new in props for me, I believe, if you're in widescreen. So
very impressive. Yeah.
On the left, new slat wall case. It has been partially filled with things from the overcrowded.
Continue to be jealous of slat walls. Go on.
Overcrowded right slat wall case. But as you can see, there's some empty space in it, and it's the perfect time to have empty space in your display cases because it is catalog time, everybody.
Yes, it is catalog day, and we are recording.
We're diving in
Yeah, we are recording this the weekend before that the catalog will, I guess, go out to subscribers. And we're going to try and get this show out. I think it's either the day subscribers get it or right the day after. So dive on in with us. But I'm cracking my email open, and
It's great because it's actually going to,
and I'm downloading it already. So yeah. Sorry, go ahead.
It's actually great because this will actually give listeners a chance to go through the catalog themselves, do the first blush thing, kind of try to process it. I don't think digest, because this is sort of undigestible, but process it and then hear us kind of talk about it. So I think it'll be
I mean, you certainly can open up your catalog and we can talk you through it all. Or this one's big. This is really, 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 really big. 4 days, 4-day auction, June 21st, 22nd, 23rd, and 24th. Day one, I'm getting my catalog ready. Day one has 485 lots. So that's to start. This is big. So maybe look through the catalog, and this time, maybe where the second, we will take you through it the second time. Like, that's how we'll help you. Like, you kind of take it in once and you're overwhelmed. And then we'll take you through it the second time, even though it's our first time. And I don't know, maybe that will help you. This is a biggie. I'm frightened. I'm frightened for us, dare I say. So yeah, very scared.
I'm frightened for our wallets myself. But
I know. I will say, I've been told by like various prop store employees with like just devilish grins, like comments like, "Oh, you and Ryan are really going to like this one," or "There's a lot you and Ryan are going to want." And it's not even about the show. It's literally just about like, "Come into my parlor, suckers," just like very much like you're going to pay our rent this year is what the prop store people are more or less telling us.
Knowing us as men. There goes all that advertising money. Right.
Yes, exactly. But it's Prop Store catalog time. Download it at propstore.com. You can sign up, get your catalog right now, download it. And this entire episode brought to you by Julian's Auction House, which is, I don't know if that's what they wanted, but Prop Store auction catalog going through, brought to you by Julian's. No, that's a joke, everyone. But should we just dive on in?
Yeah. So it's a 4-day auction. Day one is June 21st. So it's 21st, 22nd, 23rd, 24th. So it's coming right up in less than a month. And there's going to be live bidding, phone bidding.
Yes, this is their return to live bidding. So come on in. You come in, you bid, you get yourself a prop, you get yourself some of the one of the COVID variants. It's very exciting.
That's right. Maybe monkeypox.
Really good. Monkeypox. Sky's the limit. Sky is the limit.
It's a good time. Speaking of monkeys, lot one.
You can't have an auction without having 2001 Space Odyssey spoon and fork. Are these the same ones?
Either an ape head or silverware from 2001. So that's how you know it's auction day, everybody.
I would actually enjoy it if there was literally only one set and somebody keeps buying it and then selling it and then somebody else buys it and then they sell it. And it's just one, and it like at some point,
not that it never sells.
Yeah. No,
just that it always sells, and it always changes.
You always make, if you sell it, you make $100. You make $100 profit every time it sells. It sells $100 more, but you get your
pay it forward.
You get your spoon and fork. They're wonderful looking. They're futuristic. Not for me. But we are off. Here we go. Adam's Family Values. Muhammad Ali shorts. Perhaps the less said, the better. I just keep picking on whoever that consigner is. It's just like, man, you picked the wrong time as far as I'm concerned to sell those.
It's fine.
And now we're in what is a really nice section. As I jump ahead a little bit, we are in a really good-looking Alien section.
Alien.
Yeah.
The Alien franchise. Yes,
that's true. Alien franchise. Although I only see the one Alien, and I'm already kind of looking at a lot of Aliens. So I mean,
kind of like, I don't know. I sort of like, I like that light up Nostromo door panel a lot for
Would you
I
ever
just like
buy that and put it just outside the door to where you are right now? Do you know what
totally,
I mean? Just kind of like
totally. I
plugged
mean,
into the wall and lit up.
that's exactly what I would do.
All right,
Exactly what I
I
would
like
do.
that. I like that. I'd
Or
buy that.
set it into the wall next to my Captain Dallas costume or something like that. So it just looks, I would totally do something,
But
especially
definitely,
for
but built in would be very kind of cool. Like into
yes,
the wall would be really neat. And
yes,
I think the people you're renting from would really enjoy that as well. So
they'd be into it.
yeah,
They're huge science fiction fans.
that is
I'm looking at Lot
really good
7.
looking. Yeah. Well, some alien pieces. Oh, lot 7. So this is the thing that Vasquez wears. They were in Aliens. This is Vasquez wears. This is the eyepiece and her microphone for the smart gun. This is really nice looking.
hmm
Yeah, this is great.
And it says screen match too, so which is great. What a cool piece. I mean, it's really gorgeous, and piece of real military hardware there. That looks like a really good one. And then her buddy right next to her, Private Drake's Mark Ralston's costume.
Oh, wonderful! So we
Including
got
his I've served my time in
that
hell
T-shirt. Yeah,
yeah.
SETI Epsilon 4, 6. I don't know how.
Yes,
Roman
exactly.
numerals
That's
work.
when they're having the terrible.
This is SETI Alpha Epsilon 4. Sort of a little Wrath of Khan crossover. No.
Yes,
Khan? Yeah,
a little bit.
No? All right.
But that's the shirt that he's wearing when they have the bad cornbread and
right?
they're talking about
Yeah.
Arcturian poontang. Just quoting a movie, everybody.
Good. I mean, what I
that's
love
really
about
great too.
what I love about these pieces, really quickly, sorry, and they're both just kind of great. Is, I mean, obviously the movie speaks for itself, but those characters, very brief amount of screen time. I mean, obviously they're the minor characters, but boy, just so indelible. They all just made marks. You know what I mean? Like they're
Yes.
the whole. They just everyone had a little mini story. Their relationship, Vasquez, and I mean, I don't know. It like, just really just incredibly efficient storytelling, but also really great storytelling. I just I don't know, that always kind of comes to mind when I think about those characters.
Yeah,
Like
for
to
sure.
this day we know their names. I mean, all of them. Do you know what I mean? It's like
right. Yeah,
it's kind of wild if you think about it. There are a lot of movies where I don't know, it's like you watch a long movie and you just go, I don't know who anybody was. You know what I mean? Like, but those characters just really, I don't know, laid in. Oh,
yeah.
wow. So look at, speaking of characters, the smart gun itself, I guess.
Wow. Yeah, that's a great piece.
That is wild. And
Lot
this
9.
thing that was like on a Steadicam rig, more or less, basically, right? Isn't that what that thing was? Which is kind of hilarious.
Yes, correct.
That's what they used.
Correct.
They
built
really funny. Yeah.
They built like an adapter to attach the Steadicam rig, and the Steadicam was fairly new technology at that point. So those were kind of rare and expensive on their own, but just a completely memorable piece of true Cameronian science fiction hardware, and really awesome. And some Aliens fans should jump all over that, because that is absolutely killer.
Yeah, and actually, I guess you could buy the Vasquez eyepiece and I don't know, technically plugs in without the backpack, but they would go nicely together, I guess.
Very nicely together.
I'm saying.
You could set up a very nice display there. Oh my God. And then 9 and 10 too. I'm sorry, 10 and 11.
Oh, wow. So we got 2 helmets. We've got Pharaoh. Okay, so that's a name I don't know, but we got Spunkmeyer, and I definitely remember Spunkmeyer. So
Spunkmeyer. So Pharaoh is the main dropship pilot, and then Spunkmeyer is kind of the goose of the dropship.
So
but
Pharaoh we're in the Pike 5x5.
Correct.
Yes.
Correct.
So there you go.
Yeah, her brains are splattered all over the dropship windshield.
But her helmet lives on. The helmet lives
on. And
like
it's great. It's screen matched.
Screen matched, and like all the aliens, or a lot of the alien stuff, they had them all sort of like, personalize it and do cool stuff. And I don't know, it's just kind of great. I love the Fly the Friendly Skies on it. It's really good looking. Yeah. And I like that they're all a little different. You know what I mean? Like, where things are on them. They're clearly all made the same and yet a little different, which is kind of wonderful.
Yes.
Yes. Oh, the Spunkmeyer has the flight suit also, so you get the full costume there.
The whole costume. Yeah, that's really great.
Nice. Wow. And now we're
Um,
up to a full set of armor.
why not keep it
Frost's
going?
armor, Terry English
Lot 12.
armor, really
My
nice.
God, there's a whole full aliens collection,
Yeah,
soup
this
to
is
nuts in
nuts.
this
Yeah.
auction right here already, and we're only on lot 12.
This armor is really cool. This is the armor that was put on. I'm just sorry. The armor was basically, this was the armor from when he catches on fire and falls over the
Mm,
ledge. Do you know what I'm talking about?
the burn sequence,
And
yeah,
yeah, the burn sequence. And I guess it's got some of like whatever this like rubber cement on it that they use. You can see the brown in the sort of if you look at the picture of the shoulder on our left, so the right shoulder, do you see that brown stuff? I don't know if that's
yeah,
the burn or if that's there's like, it was like they put this like rubber cement on it to catch it on fire, and you can see some of the remnants of that, and some of the plastic buckles are a little melted. Can you see that? That's
yeah,
really, it's
yep.
really, really excellent. And then it's on top of different uh camo, but still pretty fantastic. Pretty fantastic.
Yeah, and
Frost.
then
Yeah.
Dietrich's ab armor comes with it, so it's
Right.
actually it's a full costume, which is really great. And then on the next page, my God, the next page you have Frost's screen matched helmet, which has done the rounds a bit.
A little bit,
But
but
this is
goddamn, this is gorgeous, and I think about it
I'm
every
going to tell you
time.
guys,
Yeah.
I spent a lot of time looking at helmets recently, marine helmets, and this is the best one out there that I've seen in private hands because it screen matches. It's got the camo cover on it, and the camo cover itself screen matches to the film. It's got Frost's name written on the back. Most of these helmets don't match up. Not saying that they're not right.
No, they're
They're just they
100%
don't screen
screen
match.
used, but like
Right.
sometimes they don't have the camo cover or something like that. You know, things that make them basically not match, or the wrong camo cover, you know, different things of that
Yeah.
nature too. And this one
And
is
a
just
lot of them
dead
don't
on.
have the drop down eyepiece. You
Yep.
can see it in the photo there. So that there's a different version drop down eyepiece that you'll see that's a lot smaller on some of them. That's the one that Terry English built into the helmets. This is the correct one. That's the one that was
Right.
built by
Terry
Props.
English did one, and then they pulled it basically out and replaced it
Yes,
later
Props
on.
did, or
Yeah.
special effects or whatever. And this one lights up. It's got a battery rig. It sits inside the helmet. It was a little fussy and finicky, which I think means that some of them didn't survive the filming. But this one has it all. It's a character named helmet. It's screen matched. It's got the right drop down eyepiece. This is the one. It's great, and that is an aggressive number. But I mean, I think that's just where these things sit right now, and it's pretty great.
Unless the crypto crash has ended everything, and maybe it'll sell for really like $20. So maybe we'll get lucky. I look at
Also
every
possible.
time this helmet bounces around, I do look at it again and again and again, just because I think to myself it would look just perfect with my gun. You know, it just like that would be my aliens collection. Yeah, I
agree.
every time. Oh wow,
I've been around long enough.
Yeah.
I've been around long enough that this helmet has been offered to me at multiple different periods.
I know there's something very strange when you've been offered
levels.
something for $5,000 and $10,000, and now you see
Yeah.
40 to 60,000. It makes it much harder than if it was sort of if I'd never seen it before, and it was just that price. But knowing I turned it down once upon a time at like $6,000 doesn't help. Yeah.
Not that cheap, but yes, but yes.
Well, I'm
much
a little
cheaper.
older. I'm a little older, a lot older. But goddamn, it is good, and it is. It stands alone to me in a really wonderful way. I mean, obviously, if somebody's getting the armor in 12, I'm guessing they're going hard on 13. But boy, oh boy, oh boy, you know, so make them pay. You know, that's the thing. Make whoever buys 12 really pay for 13.
Really
so,
go for 13. Yeah.
Really just go crazy, just go nuts. Flamethrower, really cool. I always like
those
that.
are always
you
great.
know, buy one of those and tape it to your pulse rifle. I would like that. Sulaco ship, some blueprints. That's pretty cool. I really like that. Hicks's belt, ripped belt, but labeled belt. You see that there? 19.
Yeah, that's
kind of
cool.
neat. And now we're into the other Alien sort of later movies, The Predator, whatever, and me skip, if that's okay.
And the stuff is beautiful.
It's all
and
beautiful.
if you want a
It's
cool
lovely.
display.
Yeah.
But
24
Dave, 24.
is insane. Insane.
That's so great.
Insane just because it's such a weird thing because it's like, and I can't imagine I'm ever going to buy this. However, this is honestly though, it's a huge however. This is Harrison Ford's Bob Falfa helmet, his cowboy hat from American Graffiti. And this was like a very specific, if memory serves, this was a Harrison Ford choice of sort of to make his character this sort of little bit of a weirdo. There's another story about like Lucas gave him a choice of like wanted to get his hair cut and he didn't want to cut his hair, so he went for the weird cowboy hat so he wouldn't have to cut his hair. Again, who knows? Well, we'll ask Harrison Ford, our guest, next week. But this hat is so American Graffiti,
ladies and gentlemen. Mr. Harrison Ford.
By the way, there's one person who has reviewed this as like given us like a 1-star review on like the Apple podcast thing. Otherwise we have really great reviews, but it's one guy, and his reason is he hates the George Lucas joke, and it only makes me want to do it more and more and more, by the way. So
I'm sorry.
So, thank you.
The joke stays or I walk.
1 star. Thank you for the 1 star. This thing is crazy cool, and I'm reading all this information. It comes from the guy.
There are letters that come with it.
He bought the car. He bought the Bob Falfa car, and I guess got the hat with it or at the same time or something. God damn, that is really cool. Hey, if you can't get an Indy hat, maybe a Bob Falfa hat, right?
This is going on my list because I love American Graffiti. I love Harrison. I just think this piece is great. I just think it's great.
I don't know why it puts a smile on my face. So by the way, I'm just jumping down a touch. Number 25, which is Falfa's license plate, fake license plates, cardboard, aged, whatever, but in the holder, which I think is screen used. And, they would just kind of attach this over the real license plate. But boy, it's fantastic. It's just incredible. I really.
Oh, that's really good. It says the screen match too.
Yeah. Pretty insane.
I mean, those two together.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That is wild. And I really get a kick out of 26, which is just the novelization of American Graffiti, but it's actually signed by Lucas, and then the the husband and wife team, Willard Yuck
and Katz,
Gloria Katz, who did some dialogue punch up on Star Wars and a bunch of other Lucas stuff, and then wrote, by the way, Howard the Duck, but obviously American Graffiti. I think they were classmates of Lucas. I think they're part of that USC mafia group. And I don't know. I used to love novelizations, but also I don't know, the three of them autographed like that. That's a pretty. I don't know. That's a fun piece to me.
Yeah,
I kind of just like that.
It's neat.
Yeah, that's kind of fun. They've got Milner, more American Graffiti, not quite the sequel anyone really wanted, but interesting still, kind of holds up. Some interesting film and camera work there, but Milner's helmet, a bunch of stuff, bunch of costumes from Anchorman, always fun. We always talk about comedy movies are sometimes hard. I do think these Anchorman pieces, they jump out at you. You kind of know, like his suits and stuff.
What it is.
Yeah. They do speak for themselves a little bit. Like when you see the white shoes, you kind of go, oh, it's Anchorman, which is kind of, I don't know. I think that's a good thing. Okay. In a good way, I think. So I don't know. I like that. What else? What's hitting you?
I like, I like the Ron Burgundy costume. I'm sort of wondering if it's, if that's sort of chasing the elf costume a bit, and just
probably, and they sort of a little aggressive with the price there, because Lord knows he wore a lot of suits, and I'm not sure any one suit is particularly more important than the other, but it's recognizable and it's a hell of a movie, and certainly we are right now. It is definitely standing the test of time. You know what I mean? It's still a good, relevant movie. So. I I don't know. I kind of like it. And then we're kind of coming into like a Back to the Future thing. What is this car? What the hell am I looking at? Time machine replica.
It's a tour.
used
It's a
for,
tour. It's a tour time
okay,
machine
for the
used
promo,
for promo
events,
events.
for the ride.
But
Okay.
back in the day,
Yeah. Yeah.
you know,
It's big. It's cool. I'm moving on. I'm sorry. It's great.
yeah.
I don't care. But I am interested in. I love all this stuff. You know, this is like basically Back to the Future, various pieces. Got some blueprints. We've got a license plate from the ride. Some of those save the clock flyers. That's the word.
Yeah.
Phone book
Yeah.
page.
The phone
this
book
is a
page
piece
that he tears out.
This is a piece I love. Sorry, I'm on lot 39. This is the little wind-up Cadillac model from Doc Brown's model kit. This has come through before. It's been a couple of years. I guess it's been in a collection. Looks like somebody's selling a Back to the Future collection. Boy, I love it. It's the one that kind of catches on fire. It's definitely like kind of burned up a little bit or it got some damage.
I apologize.
Yeah.
I didn't have time to paint it or build it to scale.
That's okay, Doc. That's my worst Michael J. Fox. I used to kind of.
I just saw the musical out here, the Back to the Future musical, which was a delightful,
really,
just
okay,
a delightful
cool.
piece of crazy camp. Yeah, just like a fun popcorn night. Really fun.
That's excellent. I'm kind of curious.
I do like that car though.
Yes,
it's screen matched too, which is
I really like it. I just love that scene. It's got the hook on it. I've always loved that scene. It always kind of jumped out at me. Again, you know, something I'll be circling.
And look, it's really hard to find things from the first film. Just really hard. I mean, most of the things you see are from 2 and 3 because they were the period pieces, you know, future and past. So there was more bespoke stuff made for the film that wasn't just kind of off the rack. And the first film just doesn't have a lot of stuff, and it is obviously the best one. It's frankly a perfect script, a perfect movie. A screen match piece from that. That's a major story point.
Yeah.
Is you can't sneeze at that. I think that's pretty great. We have another hoverboard, lot 41. I'm
this is
very shocked to see another hoverboard.
I'm
after
shocked,
the last one.
but I mean, this and 42, the Pitbull. I mean, these are nice.
The Pitbulls are really cool.
Yeah,
yeah.
I mean, these are
the Pitbull
really
is
nice.
Biff.
Yeah.
Sorry, Griff 10.
Griff. Yes.
His hoverboard has much more aggressive, toxic masculinity. Hoverboard with its spikes and jets and things, but yeah, this is really cool. It's really cool. I think that will actually do very well.
Yeah,
don't you?
That's really. I mean, I'm more excited by the. I don't know. I don't know why. I guess I like the Pitbull maybe more than I like the regular hoverboard.
Yeah,
just
me too.
Really,
me too,
really neat. This is sort of a whole Back to the Future section. I don't know. It's very cool. There's a Chris Lloyd puppet from 2. That's kind of neat with the crazy glasses.
His binoculars.
His binoculars, which is really fun. This is good stuff. License plate, copy of the letter, USA Today. I don't know. This is good stuff. I kind of dig it. Photo. I don't know. This is a really nice Back to the Future section. This is one of those things I do always wonder: is this somebody's collection, or is this just a lot of people give the future stuff because of the prices, because of the numbers,
chasing the prices?
You know what I mean? Yeah,
that's
exactly.
Possible.
But
it's possible.
This looks really nice. I really, that Pitbull is just fantastic. I'll leave it at that.
That's great.
It's really, really cool looking.
All right.
Wow.
We're getting into Batman.
So we got a nice chest emblem, which, as I think our longtime listeners know, neither of us needs, but boy, that's a nice looking one. So I can say that.
Very cool.
Right? That's a nice one. These made me laugh. I'm looking at these things. I discovered this, and I'll tell you later how I discovered it. But I never realized that the Michael Keaton bat boots were Nike. They're like sort of made off of Nike sneakers, or Nike made the whole thing, and so they have a a very subtle. I mean, there was never a close up. I guess nowadays, or if this was like the third Batman movie, there would have been a tight shot of the swish. If this was like
Yeah.
the
Yeah.
Joel Schumacher, they would have featured
Yeah.
the Nike logo, but they
Yeah.
didn't, which
And
is
he would have
very
said,
good.
Batman
Yeah.
would have said to Robin, just do it.
He would have said
at some
like,
point in the-
it's the shoes, to the
Yeah,
to the
right.
Riddler
Yeah.
or something
Chicks
like
love the
that.
shoes.
Yeah. But these are cool. These are excellent. Do you need these? Is this something you put under your like, you know what I mean? So you have your whole cowl and then a pair of boots, because that's what I have. This. For my Wrath of Khan, I have Khan's tunic, and then I just have
fuzzy
the boot,
boots?
and then I just have the boots because I've never found the pants. So I've got the boots tunic thing. It looks good together. I'm just saying it's a very specific look, but it's kind of cool.
I mean, I definitely like them. They're cool. They're in great shape. I just have to. I think at this point, me trying to build a full '89 Batman costume is the way to madness. And I think if I bought the boots, that would be a dangerous precipice for me to cross.
It
so
is.
I feel
but
like
here's what I'm going to say. Here's what I'm going to say.
cowl.
Ready?
Yes.
Here's what I'm going to say.
Okay.
Think of it the other way, which is at some point you are offered a really nice suit and it has no boots, and you just think back to this moment and you just really want to cut yourself. Michael Keaton. Yeah.
There
So
you go. Very good.
Nike.
Yeah.
That's something to think about. Something to think about. I'm just saying
Okay.
they're really cool looking. Okay, so whatever.
Fair enough.
Turn the page.
my
Turn
God,
the page. Turn the page.
that's
Holy
really-
shit.
That's
Are
really
we allowed
good.
to curse? This is now labeled explicit. Bart, label this explicit. Holy fucking shit.
That's really cool.
This thing is insane. This is insane. Batman spear gun from. They're saying Batman Returns.
Yeah, so it's the spear gun, but it's from Returns, but it's a hero, and goddamn, is that cool?
Look at that thing. Look how it folds up. The handle like folds up so it can go into like the bat belt. Holy crap. That is excellent. This looks like one of these props, and you don't always see these. This literally looks like a prop that works. Do you know what I mean? If you told me that you could actually fire it up to a building and then it would just pull you up to a rooftop, it kind of looks like it might. Look down at that estimate. Wow, that is
it's a big number.
Wow. Well, I guess it's a high starting bid, but that's pretty fucking great.
But yeah, I mean, I've never seen one of these.
This gets my
before,
highest review. It gets the F word. Holy fuck, yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I've just never seen one before in a private collection, and I don't think the archives has many of these things. So they're either out there or they're lost, and that's really damn cool. Okay, that's on the list.
That seems like a Ryan piece. That would be a Dave piece, except it's a Ryan piece, so I'm not in deference. I mean, I may bid you up just for the hell of it, just because I know how much
just
you like
you're mean.
it. But yeah, exactly. Batman Returns Stunt Batarang. Sure. Years ago, I almost had one.
Which is cool.
And it was the one that it attached to the front of the camera because they kind of did that Batarang POV shot.
Yeah.
Do you remember that? And that was kind of neat because you knew it was that one, but
right.
The effects guy ultimately sold it to somebody else. That's not this one. This is great looking. That's not necessarily my favorite thing. But I like Returns, but I like the spear gun more than the super Batarang.
Yes, agreed.
Yeah.
So
now we're into Forever and
Schumacher era, and we'll just keep moving.
We'll just kind of keep moving. Riddler. Now
Here
I'm
you
into
go.
some Battlestar Galactica. Now I'm into Beetlejuice. I'm just kind of moving here. Living room couch, whatever. Big Trouble in Little China. That's kind of neat. The creature. I mean, I just kind of like seeing that thing. I mean, it's a little rough shape, but it's pretty cool.
Rough shape, but it's okay.
Little Tom Spina help would probably go a long way. All right, 66.
I like lot 66.
Blade Daywalker. You told that story of the great Daywalker Blade. Is this what the weird one you had looked like? Is this what this was? Kind of. Not.
No,
not
this
the one. Yeah.
I had obviously this sword, but not
Yes.
this one. But yeah, that's that. I mean, this is on my list because it's from the first film. It's got that great special effects rig from that awesome gag where the timer goes off and it opens up and blows the guy's hand off,
Right.
which is just cool, and it looks like it's got a metal blade and all that. I mean, that's definitely a one for the list because that's a really really cool piece from the best film in the series.
It's a gorgeous piece. It's interesting. There's, it's a movie, and they're going to be making a new blade with what's his name, Ali, right?
Yeah, Mahershala.
Yeah, which I think is going to be really cool and whatever. But that first Blade movie does really hold up.
It holds up.
And I don't even mind
Mhm.
the second one, dare I say. But the
Yeah.
first one's really really good, and I think there's a lot of love for this movie, and I think this prop. I don't know. I'm not saying I think this will surprise people. Maybe I'm crazy, but that's a really nice. It's a nice blade. It's a nice blade from Blade. I mean, if you're gonna have one
It's a
thing
nice
from
blade from Blade.
Blade, you should maybe
Gotta have the
have
blade.
the blade. Yeah, exactly,
Yeah.
exactly. Or the teeth, or the teeth. I don't know, one or the other.
Teeth are cool. The teeth are
This
cool.
looks familiar.
Lot 67, very familiar. This was in the last auction.
Right.
Didn't sell.
Right.
Is now in at a higher number.
A higher number. I thought my guess was they lowered the number, but they went for a higher number. That's a unique way of doing it.
I mean, it's a strategy.
It is a strategy. That's a comic art strategy. The dealers that come back year after year, same pieces that didn't sell, but just have upped the price 20%. I don't know. It's great. I love it. It's
a
Blade
great
Runner.
piece.
I'm gonna go out on a limb. Not gonna get that number again. I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong. I'm sorry.
It's photo matched. Yeah. It's really cool. I really like it. I think I would think a lot harder about it if I didn't already have what is essentially a screen matched shirt.
I think if you didn't have your shirt, despite the price, you would be very interested in it. I don't know. I just think the higher price, I don't know. We'll see. I guess this will be an interesting, maybe even like an early bellwether. If this makes this number, or dare I say more, we're in for a really long day. I'll tell you that. I mean, we're in for a long day anyway, but then that's when you'll know very quickly that none of the sort of downward stock market Bitcoin collapsing has mattered in the least. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. Like just in the least, it won't have mattered at all. That'll be kind of interesting. A couple other Blade Runner pieces. I think we've seen I was going to say the umbrella. That's a piece that's been around, right? The umbrella?
Or is this a different I've seen the light up ones. I don't know that
Okay.
I've seen this specific one. This is not one of the light up ones. It's a different
this is
style.
Not a light up one. Sorry. Okay, yeah.
No, it looks it does not look like it. It's saying
okay. So more of a sort of an Asian flared umbrella.
Oh, it's the one that Zora used in her escape sequence, I guess, or one of the ones of that ilk that she used for cover, but it's not one of the light up ones. So those have been around.
Okay, all interesting. Bohemian Rhapsody, a lot of Breaking Bad, all wonderful. This is a funny, I don't know. Enos's Brokeback Mountain Lighter. I don't quite remember that, but okay. A movie that's certainly hard to find something from. So if you've ever been looking for something from Brokeback Mountain, that would be thing. Years ago, I had a pitch, not really a full pitch. There was sort of a moment where I was sort of hoping, and it never went anywhere, but I was trying to pitch. I was hoping that they would want to do like Star Wars sketches. And I had pitched the idea for sort of Brokeback Stormtroopers. This is in 2005, just when the movie came out. I thought that'd be a funny sketch. Sort of, two stormtroopers assigned to Tatooine looking for these droids, out on the range, kind of a thing. And anyway, Brokeback Stormtroopers. This is sort of interesting.
I wish I could quit you.
Yeah,
TK421.
Exactly. And it would have just been they take their masks off and they're all Tomorrow, whatever his name is. No, it would not have been that. Yeah. It's funny now. It feels like every prop auction has to have Bruce Lee stuff in it. So I guess it's sort of like the 2001 whatever. But here we got two pieces, a very kind of cool looking illustration, I guess, drawn by Bruce Lee, and then his book. autographed book. Very cool. I mean, I don't know what else to say, but very cool. A Buffy
Yeah, I mean, all that
TV.
Bruce Lee stuff is.
Yeah, it's always really neat. Yeah. I jumped to Buffy. I'm sorry, Buffy from the TV show Crossbow, which actually, I mean, great show.
And it's Buffy's.
Yeah, and it's Buffy's, and it's a really kind of a hero weapon, and a very, I don't know, for Buffy fans, to me, that's a somewhat reasonable price. Low estimate $3,000. I mean, I don't know. I actually think that's a really great piece. That's a circle for me. I am a huge fan of that show. Really, really am. One of those ones I would have loved to have gotten a shot at back in the day. It would have been really fun. But anyway, good piece. This is fascinating. This is the Bob Carroll Jr. collection. Bob Carroll was one of the original writers on I Love Lucy. His famous partner was Madeline Pugh, who was one of the first well-known, or really one of the first big female comedy writers. And they wrote on, if memory serves, all the original I Love Lucy. And I think like Madeline Pugh was like pregnant during it too, as was Lucy, but they were like this team supreme. And then I think they went and they wrote on all the other Lucy shows, like anytime Lucy, like the Here's Lucy and all that kind of stuff. And I guess this is his collection. So that's just stationery and notes and just, bound scripts from I Love Lucy. I mean, that's really cool. I got to say, this is something I hope maybe that the TV Academy is paying attention to and maybe steps in and either purchases or finds someone to purchase it for them. Because to me, this should be at the TV Academy. This is TV history. This is, I don't know, Bob Carroll stuff. My Favorite Husband radio show. That's one of these sort of early iterations of I Love Lucy. I mean, this is TV history. I have no idea if our listeners will care, but I care. I'm not going to bid on any of it, but this is really, really cool. This is excellent. And I guess he wrote Alice. Look at that. I didn't know that. You can buy the Alice scripts and an Alice label for a lot less, but I don't know, a really neat piece of history. And if you watch the that Ricardo's movie, what was that thing called? The you know what I'm
Being the Ricardos.
About. Being the that's the what's his name movie, right? The Aaron Sorkin. Yeah, the Being the Ricardos. Yeah. Or that really wonderful documentary that Amy Poehler did that I think is on Amazon or Hulu about Lucy and Ricky, or I'm sorry, Lucy and Desi. Really, really interesting. And the Aaron Sorkin is
I didn't see that. I'll have to.
Yeah, it's a really nice documentary. The Aaron Sorkin is like a week. It's like a week in the life of production. It's like another one of his, we have X days to do something. That sort of Aaron Sorkin thing. Can I tell you an Aaron Sorkin joke? You want to hear an Aaron Sorkin joke really quick?
Yeah.
My parody Aaron Sorkin movie is it's a movie or a sketch, I guess, whatever, but it's a movie where Aaron Sorkin has 6 days to write the movie of the 4 days of the Cuban Missile Crisis. It's a math joke, a little bit of a math joke, but I thought you might like that. So yeah,
I do like that.
Good rumor, by the way. Sorry, this is not about props in the least. Allegedly, Ricky.
And why should it be?
I know Desi and Lucy, they became huge TV producers. And among the things besides Star Trek that Desilu produced was The Untouchables. Great rumor that when The Untouchables was the #1 show in America, the actual mob was so angry that they wanted to try and put a hit on Desi Arnaz, they wanted to kill him because of The Untouchables TV show. Anyway, always thought that would that was a cool story and would make a good movie. Actually, something I played with but never quite found any truth to the matter, but still thought it was a good story. Castaway section up. Surprise, surprise. We got another Wilson. I feel like money has brought these out. But a couple other nice pieces, which is the pocket watch with Helen Hunt's picture in it. I mean, in some of the magazines and stuff from the back end of the movie. Did you ever notice in that movie he took his seatbelt off, because he's sort of standing up when the plane goes down or whatever, and his seatbelt isn't on. And everybody in the movie who's wearing their seatbelt, the pilots and the co-pilots, whatever, they all die, and the guy that's not wearing his seatbelt on the plane is the only guy that survives. I always thought that was a very strange message built into that movie.
It's a subtle anti-seatbelt,
anti-regulation, something or other, but it's in there. Take a notice.
So
I'm moving. I kind of dig 103. Tom Cruise's gun from Michael Mann's Collateral. That's been
yeah,
on. It's been on HBO a lot lately. I've been watching it
I
again.
love that movie.
It's Michael Mann. It's L.A. It's a great movie. I kind of dig the gun. It's kind of fun.
It's great until the third act, which is
Yeah, it gets a little
hokum.
whatever. Yeah, it becomes a little standard, but there's still good stuff, and just him. I don't know, dying on the train. I don't know. Good. I don't know.
Yeah,
Good movie.
and Cruise
Yeah,
playing a
yeah,
villain.
yeah.
It's really compelling.
Very
Um,
cool. Conan, but Destroyer. Do you care? Let's just go there.
no,
Lot 104. No, not at all.
no, Destroyer to me is a
It
far fall
destroyed.
from the tree.
Did it destroy Conan for you?
It destroyed Conan. Well, it's just, there's so much about Conan that's great, and it's Milius DNA in it. And this movie, all due respect to Conan the Destroyer, Lot 104, it's just pastiche. It's somebody else doing what they think made Conan popular, but really it's being done cynically versus Milius, who set out to make a really serious philosophical film,
Yeah, he set out to make an
you know,
epic.
war and honor and vengeance and fatherhood and be and slavery and being a son and cults and things like that. And then Destroyer it doesn't have a soul. It's soulless. So
It also, I don't know, to me, for a movie, the first Conan movie, which made so much money and was so successful that a sequel was, that it begot a sequel. They
yeah.
clearly are just like scraping the bottom budget wise, and they clearly don't want to spend the money. And to me, I guess I've always wondered. I don't know enough about the making of, um, how much the budget dictated the lack of goodness to the movie. Do you know what I mean? Like, all, you're right. All of those things you're talking about are missing. You wonder, were they there and they kind of went away? You know what I mean? Like, I don't know. That's just,
Yeah.
that's what
Yeah,
I
I mean,
always wondered. Yeah.
It's a Dino De Laurentiis production. He was notoriously schlocky and cheap, and frankly, it was lacking Milius, and
Yeah.
Milius did a lot of strong arming and bullying, frankly, on the first film. And I just don't think Richard Fleischer was up to the director of Destroyer was up to that sort of antagonism.
Do you know anything
required.
about it? Which is, did they ever even try for Milius, or it was a non-starter? Do you know anything?
I don't know what. No, I actually don't know what that story was. I'm sure I know the guy who made the Milius documentary. I should ask him that story, because
I'd just be curious. Was it bad blood? Did they try? Did they even come close? I don't know. I'm always curious.
My
about
guess
those
is that
things.
Milius would have come back and done it again. So I don't think it was his choice. Is my
Sure.
guess, but
Sure.
yeah.
This is a piece that kind of jumps out at me just because it's really kind of cool. Is Lot 110. It's Gregory Peck's hat from Duel in the Sun. I don't know. You don't see things like that all the time.
That old.
Obviously, yeah, 1946 movie. Really wonderful, great movie. I don't know, just a nice piece. It's just, I guess, obviously someone consigned it, but kudos for them to putting it in day one and kind of giving it a spot here and not burying it elsewhere. It's just, I don't know, it's pretty cool to me. I just kind of dig it.
Yeah.
Lot 111. This is the wonderful from Jurodowski's Doom. This is the storyboard and design Bible. There's only a couple of these out there. I think one just sold in a European auction for a crazy amount of money. Actually,
like
bought
$2
by
or $3
some
million.
Bitcoin guys. That somehow the story was that they somehow thought by buying the book that they would somehow be able to do something with it, which bananas. I do wish, by the way, that Tasha,
well, there are
or
people that invested in Bitcoin, so
right, exactly, that's true. But this is a thing I always wish that Tasha or somebody would just buy this thing, scan it, and release it, and let me put
and
it.
Make it a book. Yeah,
I would buy. I would buy this book. By the way, I would spend a huge amount of money on this book. If you said to me this is a Tashan book and it was $1,000, I'll buy that hardcover for $1,000 to get this thing. I'm not going to spend $60,000 plus to own this thing. But boy, it's just kind of. I mean, I'd like to. I'd like to thumb through it. I'd like to, I'd like to see it. I'd like to own a copy of it. That's
yeah. I mean, it's such a fascinating story. And if you guys haven't seen the Jodorowsky's Dune documentary about the kind of the sort of story of the failure of the making of an unmade movie, it's so fascinating and so great, and gave rise to so many other science fiction films in the period.
Yeah, so many of the people that worked on this went on to just, great stuff. And obviously, in Jodorowsky's mind,
Alien came out of it.
Yes, exactly. O'Bannon and whatnot, right? Or is that his name, O'Bannon or Bannon? What is
Yeah.
Oh, O'Bannon.
Yeah, and that was where he had discovered Giger.
Yep.
And Giger was doing a lot of the Harkonnen designs for that, and the fact that movie didn't get made led to other movies that we do know getting made. But
when you watch this documentary,
there's
no chance this movie was ever going to get made. I mean, I don't think.
No.
And like, there's no way you could have, would have. No one. It is a book of madness. But God, the documentary is wonderful. And like I said, I would kill if someone buys this and would let me just come over and thumb through it. I would be honored. You could be a guest on this show.
And as Dune
if you
fans,
bring your book. Yeah.
We should all be glad that it didn't get made, frankly.
Yeah, probably so. But God, I would love to have seen that fever dream.
Great story, though.
Just kind of. This is a really, really cool piece. This is lot 112. This is a Edward Scissorhands insert hand, and basically, it kind of and this is probably a good time to sort of say this is we've been probably advertising it on our social media. I went over in the middle of the night, like 10 p.m. at night, so that the place was empty, so I wouldn't get COVID. And it was just me, but I went over to Prop Store and basically got a little tour, and that's on our YouTube channel. You can check it out. We've been putting little promos up from my visit, but you'll see me with a bunch of stuff, and I got to see this thing in person. So I knew about 20 or 30 pieces before we saw this from going over and visiting this before we're going through this going through the Cadillac. But this is one of the pieces, really, really cool. And so it would be on this sort of, stick or pipe or whatever. And then they would just do those shots of like, him carving the shrubberies and whatnot and the hedges and whatnot. And they would just kind of stick this in, like with a POV from in front of the camera and just kind of move them around and make them move a lot. And that's how they would do some of those shots, And I don't know, I'm a fan of the movie, certainly the design of the movie, and this thing just looks crazy good. And I kind of love that it was the insert hands, and it was used. And it's just, I don't know, it's really wonderful. It says use in the Ice Angel sculpture scene. I just think it's kind of great, and it looked really good in person. So check that out on YouTube as you're when you're done with this. You can kind of see a little bit of more of the stuff, which is kind of fun.
Just a great piece of prop building there.
I'm jumping to 116 because I really like that. But
116.
Tell me if I've gone too far. This is a
no
stunt, and it is stunty looking. I mean, you can see the foam, but it's kind of great. Snake Plissken Stunt Mac 10 from Escape from New York. A movie. First of all, a movie I've not seen a lot from. Start with that. I've seen some buildings. I think some New York prop buildings used from some of some of the effects stuff, but I have not seen a lot from this movie, and this is really cool. Futuristic-y looking gun, but very stunty looking, and I don't know, Snake Plissken. I don't know, kind of great. That's I don't know. What do you think?
It's a Carpenter classic. Yeah. No, it's great. It's great. It's I think I prefer The Thing in the whole Carpenter kind of greater
agree
lexicon,
with that.
his
I will go with Thing, but this and Big Trouble are very much my sort of alternating 2 and 3 or whatever in the Carpenter, what's his name, kind of duo.
Kurt Russell
duo. Yeah. But I'm a fan of all of them, and certainly those movies in general, and those different characters that he kind of created, which I always kind of liked. All sort of similar and macho, but very different at the same time. I don't know, just kind of neat. That's a good one. That's a circle for me. This is kind of cool. 117. I appreciate the heck out of Evil Dead. I think it's funny. I feel like I've all of a sudden, because of Sam Raimi directing the new Doctor Strange movie, people are kind of re-remembering Evil Dead and talking about it, and lots of people are reading like these articles where it's being explained to them that the Bruce Campbell cameo is from this movie they've never heard of called Evil Dead. And I think Evil Dead and Evil Dead 2 and what's the third one, Medieval Dead or whatever they called it, Army of Darkness, sorry.
Army of Darkness.
Medieval Dead was its working title. But I think it's like people are kind of rediscovering it, which is neither here nor there, but this is a really neat piece. And it says the Doug Beswick collection, and Doug Beswick was this wonderful sort of effects guy, and there's some great stuff of his in this auction that we're going to get to, including there's a miniature, the next lot too, but these 2 Evil Dead pieces, if you're an Evil Dead 2 person, these are very memorable, and I don't know, I'll just simply say very cool, and we can keep going.
Yeah. And I mean, it sounds like, it says the Doug Beswick collection, so which is a big deal, so it sounds like there's more to come there,
as they say.
Yeah.
Fifth Element, Fight Club rules. I'm assuming
cool.
maybe from a Fox exhibit or with the Fox, maybe the Fox COA, maybe from that auction. First
Brundlefly, the head.
Oh, that's kind of neat.
In 122.
That's really, really cool. And that looks really nice too. The final form of the fly. That's really kind of cool.
Yeah.
I like that movie. I like Goldblum in it. That's really cool.
Yeah.
Forrest Gump.
Freddy
Freddy stuff. Freddy Jason. Friends stuff. I guess Friends is having a renaissance and whatnot with HBO Max and all that. Ghost in the Shell.
135.
135. Ghostbusters. This is really nice. Ghost Trap from 2. I saw this in person. The lights work on it. The Velcro on the top of it is where they kind of put this sort of smoke thing. So that's how you could kind of see it working. And check this out. I mean, again, I think we've seen this, before, but 136, the Aykroyd Stan's Ghostbusters 2 uniform, but also with his belt and stuff. Didn't we see this a couple auctions ago?
Maybe. I mean, I've seen jumpsuits before, but this is really cool. I thought we
saw with the belt, but maybe it was someone else's belt.
You build a whole display.
They blur together, but boy, to talk about an instant Ghostbusters collection here of 135, 136, 137. Really, really, really nice. You could put it together, stare at it, and pretend they didn't make that last movie. Jesus Christ. And I don't mean to speak ill of the dead, but boy, oh boy, was that not good. Sorry. Some various other stuff. Gladiator things.
Yeah.
These are fun. Shoulder straps.
Yeah. And then there's like 143 and 144, not hero costumes, but a Praetorian costume and a Legionnaire costume from this great movie. You know, if you don't have the money to go after a Maximus piece, we saw what happened in the last auction. This is a great alternative for some to show your love for the movie in a more reasonable way.
But a solid starter piece, especially into the world of costumes, really nice because it's not just a costume. Obviously, you get the armor and whatnot, and these may not have been the quote unquote most memorable characters, obviously Praetorian Guard, Roman Legionnaire, but these costumes, this armor speaks to what a quality film it was. I mean, you can't look at these costumes and not think about just, again, that epic scale that they made. I don't know. I just think it's really great. So, good starter piece, dare I say. So, Golden Child Armature, Grease 2. This is a nice little section here now. We're into Gremlins 2. So it's not Gremlins, but it's Gremlins 2. There's a Gizmo.
I like Gremlins 2.
I do like Gremlins 2. I think it has a wickedly wonderful sense of humor. I still go for the first one overall, but this doesn't. I am not bothered by this being.
It's not a bad sequel.
Yeah. And certainly Gizmo is the same. So a Gizmo puppet from 2, I'm sure it is technologically a little different, but this is pretty incredible. I mean, this is a full-on puppet with the controls. Just really, really wonderful. God, read the
In
description.
great
It even
condition.
comes with the original wood storage box from Cinovation. This came right from Rick Baker, I think back when they did the big Rick Baker auction at Prop Store. So this is some of the creme de la creme from the Rick Baker stuff. The gizmo's fantastic. This full-size bat gremlin, one of the evil gremlins, is gorgeous looking. I mean,
Yeah, it's incredible.
just fantastic. There's a Daffy puppet, the psychiatrist puppet, what Brain they call him.
Yeah.
The spider one, but then also 151. Check out. I know I'm jumping all around, but that's the John Alvin finished artwork for fans of our movie poster art show. Check this out: an original John Alvin poster art for Gremlins. I mean, so memorable, gorgeous painting. That is, boy, that's fantastic. That is fantastic. And
that's really amazing.
You know, one of those things where, you know, certainly they've had a little bits and pieces of poster art, but, you know, you wonder, are the hardcore poster guys going to know about this? Well, hopefully they're hearing about it right now, and now realize this is here. I think it's all incredible. I love the gizmo. I love Daffy. I love it all, but the poster art for me is the winner, which it's the winner among the winners. I just think that's gorgeous. Yeah,
I agree. Yeah. And it's first film. So, I mean, that's great. That's great. And it's John Alvin, who's one of the legends. Some more Gremlins, just moving on here.
Stop motion bat gremlin. I mean, the Gremlin stuff is gorgeous. I mean, just really, this is again another. You know, is this all from Doug Beswick? Is that where some of this came from? Some of this stuff down here did. There's a couple of stop motion puppets, the spider and another bat that I guess came from him, and then I guess just stuff from other people. So a combination of puppets and stop motion, gorgeous stuff. Really great section. Another just really winning section here, I think. For me, I will be back. I will be back there. I'm sort of just moving along. You tell me when to stop. Some Harry Potter
letter 161, which is cool. Signed. It's a hero. That's definitely cool.
With the wax on it. 167, another Hellboy Samaritan that I always like to stop and look at. I think I've thought about
it so many times.
I know. I just still love it. A duster from the second movie. I like the first movie a little more than the second movie, but the duster is still pretty cool either way, I guess. So I'm okay with that. Hellraiser, I'm kind of just moving here. Highlander 2, The Quickening, iRobot. I'm stopping at 175 really quickly, which is the cupboard from the Indian in the cupboard with a bunch of toys.
Yeah.
I think that is a very sweet book and a very sweet, underrated movie. Melissa Matheson, the writer of E.T. I'm a fan. I gotta remind myself to show that movie to my kids because I think they would dig it. But that is the cupboard, the titular cupboard from Indian in the Cupboard. So I don't know. I think that's kind of nice. And check that movie out. It's one that kind of fell through the cracks a bit.
Yes.
Raiders section.
177.
177 I really like. Good eye, Ryan. Good eye. I was just looking at this.
Macquarie.
This is the hand etched. I guess Macquarie actually did the etching on the, what is it, a Bible piece of copper. I was about to say tin, but piece of copper that made for the Bible page. This is a circle for me. I mean, Macquarie, obviously, you know, my Macquarie love, the book and all that kind of stuff, but this is pretty fantastic to think that he etched it and it made for the Bible page. That's pretty wonderful. Wonder if that Bible's out there somewhere, or the insert. That'd be pretty incredible too.
Yeah.
But this is pretty fantastic.
Could you recreate the page with this thing?
You mean print? I don't know. I don't know enough about, you know, obviously you don't want the equivalent of like firing an old gun and it would blow up in your hand. You know what I mean? Like you wouldn't want to, you certainly would not want to ruin the etching, but I wonder if there's a way of taking some sort of a negative off of it and making something. I don't know. Any of our printing fans, print aficionados, please email us and let us know if you think. Email us right now. Let me know if I can make these things and sell. Let's say 20 to 30,000 estimate. If I could sell 30,000 of them for $1, or 30,
You're in.
30 of them for $1,000 each. I could maybe do that. Patent pending Lucasfilm
3,000 for
with
10.
two M's. Yeah, spelled wrong. That's how I get away with it. Peruvian Arrow, another one of those. But
Yeah.
cool.
Yep.
Always like to see the chilled monkey brain. Those are
Love it.
I have one and I love it. Prototype Shankar
beetle.
Stone. I got one of those too. A beetle. I love these various. This is a cave mat study. I think that's fantastic. And then this is a piece where we knew this one was coming, and I got to see this in person, but I'm stopping here in the catalog too. This is 183. This is the Grail diary from Last Crusade. And I always make a little fun of Last Crusade because obviously it's your sort of favorite because it was your first. For me, it's a wonderful movie. I don't think it has a great villain, but I love Sean Connery. It's just James Bond being cast. I'm a huge fan of the movie, just perhaps not the fan you are. And I never thought I cared about any of this stuff from the third one specifically, although I have Indy pieces from the third movie. And I got to tell you, this thing stopped me in my tracks. This is pretty fantastic. It came from what is his name? Keir
Lusby.
Name? Lusby. Who made them, right? He made them. That's sort of, he was the maker of them. And this was, as the story goes, the last one he held on to. And it's got like the little dollar bill insert in it, all the drawings. It's pretty fantastic, I gotta say.
They're great. They're great. I mean, I have one. Yes. That came from somebody very high up in the production, but was obviously made by Keir, and it's just great. It's really one of my favorite props that I have because it's so interactive and there's so much to discover in it. And it's a book, and I love books, and each page is interesting, and the role that it plays in the film. I mean, I think this is much more interesting than the I'm gonna damn my own piece, which I'll reveal in a second. I think it's more interesting than the actual MacGuffin of the film, the Holy Grail, which is a great prop and really cool, and it's the thing. Well, I mean,
it's
for.
Sort of a little bit like it's kind of like saying sort of our prop hunts sometimes are more fun than the whether we find the prop or not. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah,
it really
that's very true. Yeah.
Again, a movie.
It's the quest.
It is the quest, and I'm trying to stop saying dare I say. I'm trying to get those.
No, don't
out.
Ever do it.
No, it makes me crazy. But I realize like I'm pausing for a second. It is. The quest is what
don't
really
change,
a movie without a villain, a little bit of a problem. Obviously there's Donovan, but he doesn't quite shine through. There's Nazis, but they don't quite shine through. There's a nice Adolf Hitler cameo, but I'm not sure he's technically the villain. But the movie is really about the quest, and it is the search for the Grail, but really the search for the relationship between the father and son.
Yeah.
And this book is about the quest. And those are the best sections of it, the different puzzles and putting the puzzle together. This is, if I've ever made fun of your Indy Last Crusade obsession, I take it all back. You know me, I rarely apologize for anything. I take it all back. This is great. That. This is incredible. This is really nice. And you know what else is nice?
It's wild.
184. Full disclosure. Go for it, Ryan. Full disclosure. Legal disclosure.
This is Indy's Webley Revolver Hero from Last Crusade. It's mine. It's actually been consigned by me. I've consigned it to the auction.
Consigned by Ryan to the prop store auction. And as always, brought to you by Julian's Auction House. Go on.
Brought to you by my collection. No, I love it, and it's really great. And I really hemmed and hawed or ummed and ahed, as they would say here in England, a lot before I put this in.
Do they say ummed and ahed? They change it? Hold on, we got to stop on this a second. Really, when I was shooting in Eurotrip, in Prague, they don't do ding dong. They do like dong ding when a doorbell rings. It was like, what? It's just like, why did you change that? But anyway, okay. Sorry. Lessons learned. Go on. 184, Webley Revolver. So
weird.
Yes.
Europe's a weird place, Dave.
Yeah.
I mean, I really love this piece, and I love my movie guns. I've had it for a really long time. I think it matches up to a specific sequence in the film. So it's really good. It was kept at Bapty forever. It was supposedly with this note that said for Mr. Harrison Ford, because he wanted it and he just never came back to collect it, and or at least that was the story. I just got to the point where I have a hat, I have a whip, I have that wonderful Grail diary, I have the Struzen art, and then I had these other things that I really love, but I just felt like it was crowding out the real, to me, a plus level stuff that I had. And I have so many other interests and things that I want, and I just kept buying these Last Crusade pieces as they came along because I love the movie so much. And it just, I bought a lot of stuff in the last couple of years. It just felt like it was time to sort of move some things on, and it felt, Indy had done very very strong in the last auction, and I wanted to put it up there. So this is up. And then
it's funny. This is look, I'm not shilling for you here. This is an incredible piece.
Please shill away.
Well, it is an incredible piece, except in your collection, in a funny way. You know what I mean? Like this is an incredible piece. This would be anybody's, I think, dream Indy piece, to have one of his guns from one of the first 3 movies, because none of those other movies exist. This would be incredible unless you have what you have. You know what I mean? It's a very funny thing that I'm not sure people can understand, because I think sometimes there's a sense of like, well, why are you getting rid of it? It's like, well, you have an Indy collection without it that really sort of speaks for itself. Again, it is pretty incredible. And just to be clear for our listeners, if they are interested, that you never shot and killed someone with this gun and are now disposing of the evidence to then frame the next buyer. Just to be clear, correct?
I mean, I'm neither going to confirm nor deny.
All right. Well, you take your chances with this gun, is what we're saying.
But if you do get shot, Dave, go on to lot 185 because you can have the restorative healing power of this special effects Holy Grail cup. As we saw it heal
the cup of a carpenter.
Henry Jones Sr.
Yes.
This is the cup of a carpenter. So this is also mine. Same thought process I went through. I will say, I'm saying this is the guy who consigned it. This is the best cup to me that I've ever seen. There have been cups around. A lot of them haven't been right.
This was in the day, a heavily forged piece, I guess, just because of, I guess it's simplicity, which it almost was like anyone with a potter's wheel or whatever. I don't know. It was just not a hard thing to fake. So guess what? People faked them. It's one of those things. Yeah.
But a couple interesting things. So this one isn't special effects Grail, and you'll see on the bottom in the catalog, there's this little ball bearing on the bottom of the
they've got a nice picture of it. Yeah.
That went. It was part of a rail rig, I think, for when the temple collapses at the end. It's when
it kind of like everything goes kind of cockeyed and crooked, and
the cup is rolling all over the place. And actually, there was this special effects man who worked on a little show called House of the Dragon that actually built this cup, and also told me he was the one that took it home as a souvenir from set. And was the source for this thing. So he confirmed it all to me when we were working on the show, because I showed photos of this to him to say, hey, do you know what was this built for? Can you explain the rig to me? So he sort of went through all of that, and was having trouble actually remembering exactly what style rig it was. But he's like, yeah, you would have used that to run on a rail system of some kind. That's why that ball bearing is there.
So it could kind of slide or roll or something and kind of be controlled.
And in a controlled way, so you could predict it and get it to do whatever you want to do with the camera action or whatever. And again, a great piece. I felt like Hat Whip Diary were overshadowing these, and I felt like it was just a good time to see what could happen, because there's certainly other stuff in this auction that I'm interested in, and these are the choices that all collectors have to make at some point, especially as those prices go up. Sometimes you have to let some things go in order to grow and expand other areas of the collection. So that's what we're doing.
And did you put these in knowing that there was one or two specific things going to be in this auction, or kind of more time to sell just because of what you'd been buying and time to sort of shed a couple of pieces? And then, yes, now maybe you are going to turn them into something else, or not, as the case may be. But so it was time. And I think that's kind of an interesting sort of moment where we, deaccessionize is not a bad thing. And again, what's the funny thing is you're still left with an incredible Last Crusade collection that speaks for itself. I mean, cup, gun or no gun, which I
I
totally
think so.
get. I totally understand. I have not been good about that, and I'll leave it at that. It's not my forte. Grail prototype, the Grail Knight sword, close up of the side model of the tank. I feel like we saw that recently or a couple of auctions
that's
back.
been around.
I always love these things. 189, the Invisible Bridge. It's sort of a little matte painting study for sort of how they did the the leap of faith, right? Was that what it was called?
Yes.
The leap of faith,
Yes.
which is kind of neat.
Another confession that's also mine.
Oh, that's yours? Okay.
So I can sign 3 pieces.
I have
to this
one
auction.
of those. Did you get that from Ruben back in the day? Did you get that from Ruben?
Yeah, it was sourced from him. Okay. I got it from a different collector, but yes.
Wonderful collector who found a bunch of these, and I got one from him directly, and it's kind of fun, and I think they're neat looking. Yeah,
they're great.
Yeah,
they're great. And this one has a great little rendering of Indy from the back, as you can see in the little insert there. It's really cool. I framed it up really beautifully, and our friends Art Services Melrose did it. It's all there in a frame. It's ready to display. It's really cool. And I think it's one of the better ones from that series because I've seen a bunch of them.
Very cool. Well, good luck. I'm very excited to see what
thank you.
Both your stuff sells for, but also what you buy, whether any of the money makes it out of Prop Store. I'm guessing no.
Unlikely.
Just a guess. But it's not new money, as I like to say. It becomes old money. So it's good.
That's right. Equity.
Brad Pitt's knife from Inglourious Bastards, the scalping knife. That's a fun one. There's some nice there's a couple of good Tarantino pieces in this auction. We went by the leg gun from whatever that crazy was that one from his, or was that the one of the other sections?
Death Proof.
Yeah,
or
exactly.
That's a Rodriguez one.
Was that the
right?
Rodriguez one? So I guess that's sort of connected.
Yeah.
Elvis suit from It Happened at the World's Fair. All right. This is kind of fun. Again, we've seen some of these before and we've talked about them. Some Dr. No, gambling plaques, Casino Royale, various chips and whatnot, Skyfall as well from the Floating Dragon. Again, I think these are all wonderful, the Dr. No ones in particular, but these are all great. James Bond, not cheap, but certainly,
some of those went pretty crazy in the last auction.
Solid first piece, I think, certainly could be for you. So I don't know. I always like them. I always stop. It's funny, you get like a set of 5 or whatever. I almost wish, like, if someone's interested in one of these from the set of 5 from Dr. No, I would take one if somebody wants to split the lot, because I don't think I need a bunch. I think I just would like having one and just going, this is from Dr. No, from the casino. I don't know. I don't need 5 of them. I think I like the blue, the green, or the kind of light pink one. I guess yellow. I don't like the magenta one. So anyway, if anyone's interested, please, get a hold of me. That would be very fun.
Dave, have you been thinking about how to increase your buying power for Prop Store's upcoming June 21st to 24th Entertainment Memorabilia Live Auction?
I have indeed. The other thing I've been thinking about too is why we're doing a Prop Store ad in the middle of a 2.5-hour giant Prop Store ad. But I guess
I don't know. I mean, is it penance for all the Julian's jokes? I think, is that possible?
But ironically, this Prop Store ad is brought to you by Heritage Auction. So I'm so confused by what our ad sales team is doing. But anyway, you can consign to the Prop Store. Wait, what? None of this makes sense. I'm just reading these things. Here,
so
you say something.
Why
good.
Consign with Prop Store?
Okay, I see. Well, again, eventually,
with prices changing all the time.
Wait, but eventually it's so that you get in the catalog and then we talk about you. So that's cool. But anyway, go on.
Yeah, there you go. So look, I mean, we joke all the time about raising money to pay for other prop pieces, but if you happen to be a normal person that isn't afflicted with this sickness, you could be raising money for a house, for tuition, retirement. Look, prices have gone absolutely bananas with this stuff, particularly from the classic period that Dave and I love to talk about all the time. You're crazy if this stuff is still sitting around in your attic and you haven't bothered to go up there and find it and consign it to Prop Store, you're just crazy. So please do, because it gives Dave and I something to live for, and fills our lives with joy and meaning.
Yeah,
with prices changing all the time, the best way to sell your authentic items through Prop Store's entertainment be live auctions and poster auctions.
Yeah, I was going to throw in there also, sometimes I bump into these old props people that have stuff and they're not sure and they don't know how to price it. You don't know how to price it? Throw it in an auction. That you'll get the price. That's how you get the price. That's how you figure out what it is. You're worried about underselling it? Put it in a Prop Store auction. That is the price. That's the way to know.
Yep.
That is the number. You're not leaving money on the table. Put it on in. And that brings me to also, I've met prop guys over the years where it's like, oh, I don't know, I'm worried. Like, is the studio going to come after me? No, that was 30 years ago. They don't, no one who worked there is alive. They don't care. Just put it in, sell it so I can buy it. Please put your stuff consigned today to Prop Store so that Ryan and I can buy the stuff. And the main reason to do it
they don't know. There's no paperwork.
Yes.
There's no paper trail. They have no recourse against you, essentially.
Yes, you're not going to get in
for
trouble.
Modern films.
Yeah, sure. If it's a Marvel
not for
movie,
the things that
Marvel
Dave and I
might
care
come
about.
after you. But Star Wars, it's sitting in your attic. Get rid of it. You got something from American Graffiti, like that Bob Falfa hat. Get rid of it. It's good. And why?
Yeah.
Top prices. As the top auction house for entertainment memorabilia, Prop Store continues to get market-leading prices for their consigners, including the sale of a Back to the Future 2 Marty hoverboard for over $500,000 in the last London auction. Let Prop Store help you achieve top prices for all your material except for the Pyro X-Wing, which sold for a record low number because it's such a terrible, terrible, terrible item. Don't bid on it. Don't buy it. It's just a shame. But anything else, sell. You get top prices at Prop Store. What else, Ryan?
There's no buyback fees. Prop Store allows consigners to place reasonable reserves on items and will work with you to educate you on the market value of your collectibles. Prop Store auctions typically have an 85% or better sell-through rate, meaning of all the items in the catalog, 85% or better sell. And most consigned items do sell. But if you do place a reserve in your item and it doesn't sell, there are no costly buyback fees, which other auction houses do.
Other auction houses.
There's also interest-free cash advances.
Hold on, I was going to say some auction houses, by the way, will charge you a couple of $1,000s or a percentage, like a 5% fee if your stuff doesn't sell. The fact that they don't do that here at Prop Store is huge. Interest-free cash advances. We talked a little bit about that last week, but if you're like us and you're thinking about buying something in an upcoming auction or you need money for something like that, Prop Store will provide cash advances for quality items over $5,000. And unlike other places you may go for cash advances, Prop Store does not charge interest on cash advances. And that can be for another prop or just for your life. You need the money, again, that tuition fee, whatever, because you wasted all your money on an X-Wing, whatever the reason, you can get it interest free. That is fantastic. Better than Bitcoin. What else?
There's also the Prop Store certificate of authenticity, so you know it's authentic. And what material does Prop Store want? Not only is Prop Store looking to help you sell your authentic props and costumes, but they're also interested in helping you sell your posters, original artwork, comic books, music memorabilia, animation ephemera, toys, movie vehicles, production items, and more. Why not trade in pieces that no longer fit into your collection and get something new, like I'm doing in this very auction?
I've done it before myself. I'll probably be doing it next auction. It is just a great way of getting rid of the things you don't want and getting the things you do want. And that's what's incredible. And there's room for everything, not just toys, not just posters and whatever, but all kinds of movies, TV shows. They're open to it and they will help you find an audience for that whatever unique piece from the movie you thought no one ever liked, parentheses 1941. They'll label it's from the Untouchables or something, and then it'll sell. So that's really great.
Yeah. That's what they do.
And so what else can we say here? Contact Prop Store by going to the Sell tab on propstore.com or email consign@propstore.com if you have items you'd like to sell with Prop Store. And what else, Ryan?
Prop Store is now accepting consignments for their next auction. And we haven't even gotten to the.
I know, we're not even done with this auction.
Setting up their next
London auction,
which will take place in London in November 2022. So in addition to movie and TV memorabilia, the auction will include a special focus on music memorabilia. So if you have some rock and pop treasures to sell, please contact Prop Store today. And if you're in the mood for buying rather than selling, don't forget to use your discount code Ryan10 to get 10% off your buy it now order. To the end
There's
of the
another
season,
code
and
too,
your
I
favorites.
believe. There's another code. It's right there under that. Do you see it there? Do you have it?
Ryan 25?
No. Do you
They're
see it
doing a
there? It's
new-
right under Ryan 10. It starts with a D. You see it there?
Oh, Dave 10.
Yeah, that's right.
Dave
that's
10.
right. That's right. Which actually, I don't know if people know
That's
this.
the one that
I
that's the one
heard a
used.
rumor, and I can't say it's true. It's definitely not true. I heard the Dave 10 coupon gives you 11% off. I don't know if that's true or not. But
What?
yeah, there's only one way to try. You should put it in, buy an item, and hit complete purchase, and then see if you got 10% or 11%. It's going to be 10%, but maybe it's 11%, but it's going to be 10%.
Yeah.
But that's still going on for the rest of this season, which this season keeps getting longer because we keep adding more shows. This is now 2 shows, and then we're going to do a show on the X-Wing. So it's just insane. But basically, vote for your favorite host, Dave Mandel at Stuff Dreams Are Made Of podcast, with the Dave 10, the only coupon available. And more importantly than that, get yourself 10% off something really great off their Buy It Now section, which is wonderful. Prop store. What's the phrase? Live your dream. Make it
Find
happen.
your extraordinary.
Make it happen. Prop store. Make it happen.
Yours.
Brought to you by Julian's and Heritage. All righty.
Don't bid on the X-Wing.
Don't bid on the X-Wing. We love you.
And now back to the show.
Now back to 11 more hours of prop store ad, of prop store propaganda. Not something I buy a lot of, but 203, a full binder of Jaws storyboards in a script with annotation. I just think very, very fun. Did I ever talk? Did we ever talk about? I took this tour on. I went to Martha's Vineyard right before the 4th of July. It was like the one break I had while I was shooting the Watergate thing, and went up with it was one time I got to see my family, and I met them up in Woods Hole, and we went over to Martha's Vineyard, and we took this. The main town is called Edgartown, and we took this Edgartown tours, but it was basically a Jaws walking tour, basically, because Edgartown is Amity. So we did this just incredible walking tour of the town and all the different Jaws locations, and then got in the guy's car and he drove us all around the island to like where Quint's shack was and whatever. It was absolutely fantastic.
That's great.
Edgartown tours, and then at the end of it, he had these great, you keep looking on the island for Jaws stuff and nobody has anything. Nobody's selling anything. I'm not talking about props. I just mean like you can barely even find like a shirt with a shark on it. It's very strange. They kind of, they keep it at a sort of a strange distance. There's like a piece, like a shirt or two. But at the end of the tour, the guy gave me these wonderful, like big fridge magnets that said like, there was like an Orca one and an Amity one. And I took them back with me, and then I shipped a suitcase back to LA from upstate New York via FedEx. And those motherfuckers lost my luggage. And I don't care about any of the stuff that was in the luggage except those goddamn magnets from the tour. And just basically FedEx gave me like $100 for my luggage. And unbelievable. Awesome. Yeah, it was really insane. But I'm so angry about those magnets. That's really the main point I wanted to bring up. These are the John Carter stuff you've been looking for a while. From the 2012 Correct. John Carter.
Yep.
They've got.
Let's not even talk about that, lest people bid against me.
Yeah, good point. Good point. I'm just kind of moving. You tell me where to stop. Some interesting Jurassic Park stuff. I always like seeing it. Some of the animatronic baby stop motion stuff. I don't know. I never know, but I don't ever buy any of it. I don't know. For me, I like the movie, but I don't know. Just kind of keep going. Cry Kid Part 2 signed Guy. I guess not a surprise with the way that show's going now.
The show. Yeah.
Yep. Kick-ass.
222?
222. That's exactly where I was going to stop. Look at that. Kill Bill, Hatori Hanzo blade belonging to the bride with some blood on it too. Real blade? No, metallic paint finish. So it's a
confession.
Yeah. Oh.
I actually owned this at one point.
Did you? I don't think I knew that.
A long time ago. Yeah.
So this is an early prop.
It's wonderful. Okay. Yeah, it's really cool.
What did you sell it to buy? What did you buy?
It was part of that whole Indy Whip and Conan Sword coming up at the same time. Yep, it was just part of that culling that went on. And I kind of regret it when I saw it here. This is probably 10 years ago now that I let it go. There was a pang of regret, but let me tell you, it's really cool. And the thing that I really like about it is when it's sheathed, it basically looks and acts and displays like a hero. The only time that you really realize that it's
is
a
when you
stunty
see the blade
is when the blade is out. So if you display it sheathed, it feels the furniture on the sword. And look, I bet the super close up hero had really, really nicely done stuff, but it feels pretty hero to me. Like that's a wooden saya, the scabbard,
right,
and the suba is metal, the handguard, and all of the
so really
leather
it's
wrapping
just
on
the
the
blade
handles.
for all. So it probably is really similar. When
Yeah.
you let it go, was part of your mind of, I'll let this go for obviously the reasons you were buying the stuff you were buying, but the hope that you would find a hero blade one day, was that sort of a little of it too?
Of course. Yeah, of course. That was the thinking. And if it was a hero, I wouldn't have let it go and whatever. Right. But and look, the hero might never show up, but for me, it was fine to let it go. I think it's a great piece. I've never seen another Hanzo sword of any kind anywhere. So if you were thinking about it, this is the only one I've seen.
I'd like to think they're sitting in the umbrella stand right by the door of Tarantino's house. That if we could house.
Like, or he's got the basement room like Hanzo did with all of the swords in it. That's the other alternative where he just has the secret room
as opposed to his basement room where he keeps the gimp. So one of those two possibilities.
I'm not saying that those two things are necessarily mutually exclusive.
I guess if the gimp can't see out of his mask, he doesn't know that he's in a room full of Hanzo's
full of swords.
Yeah,
possibly true.
And I can never look. I just have to say, I can never look at the Hatori Hanzo sword without just, you lie. I always like, it's a Hatori Hanzo sword. You lie.
Yeah.
I know 225, but I just got to stop at 224. I just love this goblin helmet from Labyrinth. I just really do. I just, the movie's kind of nutso, but the Army of the Goblin King, David Bowie, I just think it's just gorgeous looking. And I remember it. That's all I'll say. Certainly not a huge price tag, but just to me, very memorable in a really great way. I don't know. I just really dig it. 2225. Sorry, 2225 and 226. Let's jump to both of those.
Leon the Professional, both two hero guns from Leon's armory, and I just think these are they're cool because they're kind of custom outfitted with compensators and clips and things like that, and they are the little magazine bases there. They're just really neat, and that's a great movie, and I think if you're going to take something from the Professional, it's got to be a gun.
It feels like gun or the plant, and I'm guessing the plant is dead, so probably go with the gun. Yeah,
long dead, unless it was a prop plant. It's possible.
It's so funny. I actually watched this movie recently, and it was 1994, so I was 24 years old when it came out, and I don't know, somehow watching it now, and maybe because I'm a father now or something, but it is crazy how sort of weird the Natalie Portman sort of the sexualization, especially like when she dresses up as like Marilyn Monroe and stuff, that I don't know, like 24-year-old me just like was like la la la. I mean, it's not like, I don't know, none of that occurred to me, which I guess is part of my white male privilege or something, but now I look at it and I just go, this does not seem appropriate. I mean, in a really wonderful fucked up way, I guess. So
I saw it when I was Natalie Portman's age, Dave. I was 14.
How did it make you feel?
It was weird. I mean, that was like a classmate, it was weird. Yeah. Who's the old guy?
Great guns. Moving on.
Lot 230?
230. Oh, yes. Sleep all day, party all night, never grow old. It's
you were
great
just
to be a
talking
vampire.
about this film. I
was.
believe.
I love this movie. And this is pretty incredible. These are the 4 hero jackets. I knew these existed. I don't remember who had them, but I knew there was a collector that had these. And I mean, these are incredible. I love these. I wish it was 1987 and I could buy them all for $100, but this is incredible. I put that movie holds up. That to me is an example, by the way, of where all of Joel Schumacher's insanity kind of works for the movie as opposed to the Batman movies. Do you know what I mean? Like, but God, it's frightening. It's funny. It's a wonderful confection. Dare I say, it's a wonderful confection.
Is a great word.
Yeah. I'm a big fan of the movie, and these are really incredible. And I guess they're all signed on the inside, or most of them are signed. These are pretty wonderful. Kiefer Sutherland, and then you may notice on the right, Alex Winter. Bill. Is he Bill?
Yeah.
He's Bill. Yeah.
Yes.
Pretty wonderful.
Possibly the best looking jacket in the bunch too. Yeah.
Yeah. Some of these guys get killed quicker than others, but nevertheless, Kiefer Sutherland from his badass period where it was this and when he was the asshole in Stand By Me. But these are, I mean, this is memorable costuming as far as I'm concerned. Really memorable, really unique, and again, serve the characters. You know, these sort of, it made each one of them unique because the costumes were unique. So again, you know, just part of the art of it all. Another movie we've talked about recently, 231. This is Immortan Joe's, really cool. I don't know what they call it, fleet buggy, or part of his fleet buggy. This is, I mean, I got no room for this, but fantastic. This is
so cool.
This is part of the overall madness. We talked about that book. Just talks about how these things were made and just why that movie is so incredible. And part of why this is so incredible is because this thing is real. This is not a CGI car. This thing is real, and it just fantastic. Shield, a little bit of comic art. I guess there's some more later. These are by Joe Quesada, who used to be editor-in-chief of Marvel. Kind of nice, you know. I don't know, you know, if you're a big fan of those Marvel TV shows, which I guess are now coming back. I'm jumping to 242, if that's okay. This is a really gorgeous stunt Thor hammer from the first Thor movie with gorgeous, again, the leather, the stitching, the stunt runes. And unlike every other hammer just about that I'm offered, this was from the official Marvel auction that was back in, I think, like 2012 or whatever. So the Marvel police are not going to knock your door down and arrest you. This sucker's great. It's got a pretty insanely great price tag. It's used. The what do you call it? The loop, the leather loop. You can see the usage on it. I actually saw this one in person as well. You could see it's used, and the mallet part of the hammer has definitely seen better days, but that's exactly what I want in a stunt. Do you know what I mean? It's not shiny and brand new, and it's just, you know, the movie, but it's still Thor, and it's just great. So I don't know. It's a circle for me, despite what looks like a crazy starting bid. Boy, that's a high number, I'll just say. But I'm allowed. I think I'm allowed to say that. Julian's doesn't care what I say, so I think we're okay there. Couple of other Thor pieces, Matrix. I'm just kind of moving. Mork and Mindy's. This is an interesting two-parter. The egg-shaped spacecraft that was used both in Mork and Mindy for Mork. That's how he traveled, but then also Escape from New York. I think that's the president's the ejection pod that like shoots
escape
him
pod,
out. Yeah, exactly.
That's so cool.
So that's kind of great. That's a nice crossover for you Mork and Mindy Escape from New York fans. And they have it under the Mork and Mindy section. They could have put it in the Escape from New York section.
Escape from New York?
Yeah, exactly. They could have put it in the Escape section / Mork and Mindy, but they went this way with it, which is kind of interesting. I'm stopping for a second at 251, which is the Monty Python Holy Grail helmet. They've had these before. I've bid and lost. I still love it. I'll probably bid again. I just had to stop there.
Yeah.
And then 253, we just were talking about this because one of our books in our book show was about the National Treasure props. And this is a whole bunch of wonderful National Treasure props, including the Declaration of Independence.
Which is the one that I picked in the game.
So here you go.
So I guess now I have to buy it.
You have to buy it. And I don't know if it has a secret message on the back, but you can now, you can steal the Declaration of Independence. And they've also got from the second movie, the President's Book of Secrets. Played the
See,
president.
now this is
I was
more
just saying
like
really
what you were
quickly,
talking about.
Bruce Greenwood.
Yeah.
Should play the president in every movie forever and ever. And they should then
Also true.
digitize him, and even into the future after he sadly dies one day, he should be the president. But this is what you want in a prop. Look at this, like Oswald photos, Kennedy assassination photos, Roswell newspapers. I mean, this is the works.
Yeah. Leather binder. Oh,
Yeah.
so cool.
This is
really cool.
Truly fantastic. This is a gorgeous prop. Again, just great prop movie, both of those movies. I'm stopping at 256 because I love The Natural, and this is a screen matched Wonder Boy bat. You know, I feel like I've seen replica Wonder Boys around for years, whatever. Screen matched, I guess the wood grain is my best guess. But I love that movie. It's Americana. It's just, I don't know. I think it's I love it. And it's Excalibur. You know, that's what it is.
That's
and,
right.
This one for me is one where you kind of go, wow, I haven't seen this before. So I'm, you know, this was like when those Untouchable pieces showed up. That's what this feels like for me. Like wow.
Yeah.
Really great. I guess comes from the prop guy. Big circle for me. So really, really cool. Some Nightmare pieces. Nightmare Before Christmas. Those have slowed down a bit. I don't know whether everybody who wanted one has one, but I feel like we're seeing a little less of that right now.
I don't know. I mean, I still love that movie. I would love to get a
I'm
Jack
not saying there's a reason. I'm just saying it just maybe like at the moment, you know, just a little
there's so many of them. There's a lot of pieces. Yep.
Maybe people are taking a break. Another Doug Beswick piece, but that is a Freddie Skeleton. You can see the hand with the glove on from
that's funny. Cool.
Nightmare on Elm Street Dream Warriors. Not a movie I've seen, not a movie I'm going to see, but it's a great looking stop motion skeleton. I mean, that's a fantastic piece of work. I mean, whatever. It's just kind of great. No Country for Old Men costume, very recognizable. Ocean's 11, the Emerald. I'm just moving. You stop me wherever. Steve McQueen's Papillon 266. That's kind of neat. Not that
again.
Did you see that crazy remake they made of that with Rami Malek? Just nutso. And the guy from Sons of Anarchy. Don't waste your time. I don't know why I did, but this is pretty neat. Steve McQueen, pretty darn cool. I'll just simply say
it's a really good film.
Speaking of Pacific Rim stuff, I'm just gonna keep moving. Passengers, Pee-wee, Pillsbury Doughboy, Pirates of the Caribbean.
Nothing says loving like straight from
nice
heaven.
ape costume. I'm stopping at 279, right after the ape costume. This is Elias and Barnes from Platoon. The Elias one, which was Willem Dafoe, you know, the guy that like gets, you know, killed and fragged on his knees and whatnot. That was always a very memorable one. The sleeveless one with the sort of Chewbacca bandolier across his way. I don't know, very memorable to me. A movie that I don't know, in 1986 was a big to do. I don't know if that's a movie I may have to go back and rewatch that.
It still holds up. I just watched it a couple years ago. I think it's really, it's even for Oliver Stone, it's very controlled.
I wrote a paper on it back in college, like freshman year of college. It was about it was a class on Vietnam, and it was sort of about Vietnam films, and it was sort of the journey from Green Berets, John Wayne's Green Berets, through the Rambo movies, which basically allowed America to re-win the war that we lost, and then allowed us, once we had won the war, to make Platoon. That was sort of the point of the paper. That was the thesis of the paper. What do you think of that? I got a good grade.
Yeah, there you go.
Let's see. Predator 2. I'm stopping at 286. Another Quentin Tarantino, A Bad Motherfucker Wallet.
Yeah.
Used by the prop guy as a wallet, which is why it's in kind of beat up condition. He kept it and used it.
Good.
which I don't know, that really makes me laugh. It's just the idea of like, it's like if I bought your wallet or something. makes me laugh. But obviously very memorable prop, very memorable moment. Pretty great, pretty darn great. And good.
There's actually a bunch of Pulp Fiction things in here.
A shirt and the Bruce Willis
Tim Roth shirt.
thing. Oh, the Tim Roth one too. Was that a honey bunny, a pumpkin? Yeah, honey bunny's the girl. Jackrabbit Slim.
The menu.
Tom Cruise Rain Man jacket. That's sort of memorable to me. Is that from? I don't know if that's when they have the matching suits, but it's sort of memorable. I don't know. That's how I picture him dressing. I am going to stop at 297 just because it's a gorilla. It's a full gorilla.
There you go. Yeah.
I guess this was on the rack I'm reading, and I guess you could rent it like for like commercial work and whatever. It needs eyes, but I bet Spina could put some eyes. I guess this came from what's his name, Rick Baker's Cinovation studio.
It could be your eyes, Dave, when you put it on.
I don't know if I want to wear it. I think I want him just sitting in the corner. No.
Yeah,
I gotta look at
just
that.
Lurking.
I'm looking at that. I'm gonna look at that, not because it's from anything, but just because.
Could you mount it to the front of your car?
The roof of the car, maybe. I don't know about the front, but maybe the roof. Yeah.
It's all possible.
That's fun. That is a fun, silly piece. I like that. I kind of dig the spaceship capsule from The Right Stuff because that's a movie I like a lot. And this is Pyro Miniature.
That's a miniature.
That's pretty neat. Yeah. So it's tiny. It's about, what is it? 40 inches there. That's pretty cool though. That's a nice piece. I like that
40,
movie.
40 tall.
I got very excited for a second when I saw 301, but it's actually from RoboCop 3 and the TV series. And sadly, all RoboCops are not created equal.
No.
Yeah.
No.
Great.
It's the Auto 9.
Yeah.
It's the gun, which
it is
which
the gun.
Which would
but
be
if it was from the
would
first,
be a major acquisition if it was from the first film. Yeah. But yes, I think.
But
RoboCop
I guess
3,
maybe better than 303, which is the stuff from the new RoboCop. So take your pick there.
I mean, I really like those designs.
I guess.
I think the designs from the new film are really cool. But yeah, I think that was a bit of a swing and a miss.
One of those rock things with all the viruses in it, always sort of fun. I feel like we've seen those and the individual balls before. I jumped to 312, Morgan Freeman's Somerset hat and trench coat from Seven.
Yeah, from Seven.
Pretty cool, sort of a memorable look for him. Kind of neat. Did you ever read about
Mal costume there?
Which one? Sorry,
314.
Oh yeah,
a complete Mal costume
from Serenity. Very fun. Is that the TV show or the movie, or does it not differentiate?
The movie. That's
okay.
the movie.
Yep.
Yeah, but 314. Yeah.
Very cool.
I'm sorry. What were you going to ask me?
Oh, I was going to ask you. Did you ever read about that crazy Seven sequel that they entertained briefly? Have you read about that?
8.
I don't think it had that title. They bought a script that actually. Friends of mine wrote. I think Ted Griffin. I shouldn't say. I think Ted Griffin was one of the writers on it. I can't remember if it was Ted and Sean Bailey, but anyway, it was either just Ted or Ted and Sean Bailey, or Sean was the producer anyway. But it was bought. It was a movie about a psychic serial killer, and then they bought the movie, and someone was gonna turn it into a sequel to Seven, and I think they were going to give Morgan Freeman like psychic powers, and then at some point someone thought better of that idea and stopped that. Anyway,
oh my goodness,
kind of wild. Sort of like when all the Die Hard sequels were other movies, but like they never gave Bruce Willis psychic powers. Sleepy Hollow stuff, not a movie I love, but good looking props. I'm stopping at 321 really quickly just because it's a pumpkin bomb from the original Spy movie, but it lights up, and I got to see it light up, and it was really cool, and it's not expensive, and I think it's very memorable, and it's really cool, and that's all I'm going to say. I think it's can
win Dave's heart with shiny flashy
lights, but I don't know, very cool.
I will also say I love Sleepy Hollow. It's a guilty pleasure.
It's okay. But by the way, I said good props, but I don't know. Have you watched it lately?
I have not, but it's a happy memory.
All right. I will leave you with that.
I should go back, or maybe I shouldn't.
Don't. You can't go home again. A bunch of original Star Trek stuff, some pants.
That's cool. Yeah.
Those are cool. They have Shatner and Nimoy pants. I really like 326.
No
which
con
is,
pants though.
No con pants. Although I guess you could probably buy any of these pants and just use them at this point. 326 is a piece by Hua Chang, who was the guy that helped design all the stuff. So it's a drawing of like the tricorder,
The
or maybe
gear,
a slightly early version of it. Yeah, and there was a big auction of his stuff millions of years ago at the old Profiles in History. And I just always thought this stuff is really neat. And maybe, dare I say, a little less in demand right now. Original Trek. I don't know. You know, there's so many versions of Trek these days. I don't know. It's all getting a little diluted, but my heart still belongs to the original. So I will leave that there. But here's something you're looking for. I'm stopping at 329. Before you stop there, maybe you were already stopped there. Tell us about this. Why are you interested? What do you like about this?
Well, it's Captain Picard. It says full costume. He's the bald captain
the bald
from
guy.
the TV show.
Yep.
Yes. The Gandalf's friend.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it looks like it's a complete Patrick Stewart costume from probably like kind of the middle run of the show,
right? Which
I would guess, just based on
which is
the preferred one.
Yes, those single, originally they were like jumpsuits, and they didn't wear well. That's why he's always like pulling them down. Everybody's always pulling them down. I preferred this design as well, which is, I guess, the two-piecer. And look, this is, classic Picard. It's Patrick Stewart. I mean, this is true. I mean, look, I joke about it, but it is a great piece. I honestly, literally could not go wrong with this piece. Is this something
it's awesome.
Is this something you're thinking about? Is this something you're going to think about?
Yeah, for sure. This is a circle and put it on the list. It just depends on what happens earlier in the auction, I think. But yeah, I mean, I want a Picard, and it has the rank pips. It has the little communicator Starfleet badge on it. It's labeled. It's really cool. That's on the list.
It is
a lot of cool
true,
next gen stuff.
It is
here.
a true one and done. I mean, I think, you know what I mean? Like, you just go, I've got this. You're perfect. That's your next gen piece. I understand that. And he is truly, I mean, it's Patrick Stewart. I mean, he elevated that show on his shoulders. I mean, really just lifted it up and put it on his back. I mean, it's no flute, but I guess if you can't get the $7 million flute,
I mean, I missed the flute.
Yeah, you missed out on the flute, but you could get the costume that every human would want. This has come up before, but I always like the Q's Crime Against Humanity pad, just because I like John Delancey and I like Q.
Yeah.
I just think that's fun. There's a lot of next gen stuff. Are you interested in any of the, I don't know, ephemera is not the right word, any of the other stuff, the hand props? Is that something that does something?
I kind of would love that medical tricorder lot 336. It lights up. I think that's really
wait
attractive.
a second. It lights up. Hold on a minute. I'm bidding.
Yeah, well, that's true.
Anything that lights up.
Yeah. And I do love the phaser too. I mean, that's a static phaser. So calm down, Dave. But
can I add a light to it? Can I put a flashing light on it of my own?
A light up display. No, I think all that stuff is really cool. And I think this would be a sort of circumstance of like, if I won the Picard, I might be feeling,
you might watch
the
other pieces a little more. Yeah, I get that.
Yeah, I think so. I just like that. I mean, I just love that series. It's a happy memory for me, and watching it every weekend, really through kind of. I mean, it was basically on from my, like,
I was gonna say it had to have been perfect
grade
for you, just
until
perfect timing,
until the middle of high school.
Yeah.
Like, that's the perfect time, and then Deep Space Nine took over. It was
No,
X-Files was on. It was just a great time.
No,
great time
I totally get that. You know what I always loved is 338. I don't know how you pronounce any of this. It's the Klingon weapon. Batleth. Okay, that Worf was always using.
Yeah.
It looks like the kind of thing that would be in a shitty Batman movie. You know what I mean? Where it's like, oh, I need the Batleth. You know what I mean? But anyway, but I don't know. I always thought it was really cool, and I did like Worf too on that show, or at least the early seasons of Worf. It got a little weird in the back end, but answer me this question. Just sorry, really quickly. So, like, I don't understand. Like, in the back end, he and Counselor Troy, Worf and Troy, are basically a couple, and they're together. And then, like, and Riker's okay with that, and they're like raising Worf's kid and all that kind of stuff. But then when the movies come out, it's like she and Worf are not together, and she's kind of back with Riker, and no one says anything about anything. Yes, sort of is what I was very
What's the
confused
problem?
by. It's the Klingon way, the
he's terrifying.
Very polygamous or polygamy and whatnot, and very open marriages is the Klingon way.
That's right. Cool, well, she's a Beta Z,
Yes, exactly. Very sexual, like her mother, Luana.
Her mom was the thirstiest alien in the history of science fiction. So,
very cool miniatures. I'm looking at these. What are these things? Yes. Shuttle miniatures. Just really neat looking. Yeah.
DS9. Really cool.
Yep.
Which I love. I mean, DS9 is a great series.
These are just fun looking.
Yeah, it's really cool.
Guys in them.
342 and 343. Yep.
That's really neat.
And there's some Voyager stuff.
Yep.
All these Lycars displays, Lcars, the light up displays, which I just think are really cool. If you backlight them, they display really well.
If you put them in a backlight, they will in a frame. They will look really, really nice. Or even like in the front of like a desk or a table, you could do something like that. Obviously, you can hang them on a wall.
They light up, Dave.
Yep, they do light up. You gotta light them yourself. I don't like that as much. Yeah. Now we're getting into Enterprise,
the movies.
Discovery. We're getting into a lot of different things. This is the new the number one where they're doing those shows now with the Christopher Pike crew, those people. So now number one, who had been played by Majel Barrett in The Cage, is now what's her name, Mystique, Rebecca Romaine. But anyway,
Romaine,
bunch of stuff from there. I mean, it's all really neat stuff. I do like, if you look at 363, we're talking about L-cars, the ones where you get the whole ship cool. Like that. Yeah, I think that's really neat.
Yeah, it's
and then ending it with one of the JJ phasers, which we've seen before, but really, really nice.
They light up and they flip,
and they flip, which
that's really cool.
I appreciate. And as always,
question for you, Dave. Yes. I didn't get into it. I usually get into it at this point in the catalog. Star Trek means Star Wars is coming.
Yes, it's coming.
Are you okay?
I'm okay. Look, I think we've already talked about it.
You know the big one.
I know the big one, I guess, and
you're presuming it's the big one.
Right. It better be the big one. Yes, it better be the big one. But another,
they could have a full-size Tamira Morrison in this catalog. Look out.
Well, I'm going through the first couple of pages, and I'll tell you what they do have is they got a lot of lightsabers. Look, it's all good stuff. It's all prequel stuff. Pass. Female does get Raider.
Obi-Wan.
Pass. I'm sorry, everyone. I'm just pass. This is a taste issue. Pass. Revenge of the Sith. Pass. I'm jumping. I'm going to start with 377. This is the Charlie Lippincott collection. Charlie Lippincott passed away a couple of years ago. He was in charge of the marketing and PR of the original Star Wars movies. He's the one that went to San Diego, made that original production, gave away the Chaykin posters. He's the one that helped make the Kenner deal for the toys. He helped start the fan club. Went on to worked on the first Alien movie. Then later on, I think tried to produce the Judge Dredd movie. I don't have all his specifics in front of me. Did a lot of the early interviews that were used for all like the Star Wars magazines, and even later on the making of books and stuff. Just a really interesting guy. Sadly passed away at this point now a couple of years ago. These are put in from his wife. They're marked from the Charles Lippincott collection. Really interesting. I'm just kind of looking here at early drafts, full sets of storyboards, and all of this is really interesting. And I'm going to look deeper at all of this, but I really got a kick out of 381, which is they're the dressing instructions for C-3PO, and it's all just Xeroxes, but I just love that this existed, and that he had, a copy, which I kind of like. And it looks like his wife, I guess, has made some kind of a stamp to indicate this is from the Charlie Lippincott collection, which is probably smart to do. I might have done it on the inside of the front cover as opposed to on the front cover. That's a personal taste issue. Am I allowed to say that without everyone getting angry? But that's a personal choice. I am glad that they are denoted from his collection with something that I think can't obviously fake. And I think that's great. But these are really wonderful paper items, and I'm going to come back and look at all of these. I honestly have to figure out, I have certain ones of these like script drafts, but there are ones I don't have. And obviously the possibility of having his storyboard folder binder is pretty darn cool as well.
Yeah, I don't have a Star Wars script, and I feel like I should.
I think this would
just
be one of them. I think the question is just how early you want to go, or if you want something that has a little more of the elements of the movie. But I think both are kind of, I don't know, both are good. You know what I mean? But I don't know. These certainly, you know, the idea, again, having one from Lippincott's collection. I mean, that's about as, I don't know. There's about five or six people I would want from their script, and this would be, he would be one of them. So I'll leave it at that. Couple of nice Death Star pieces, you know, again, things we've seen before. A piece of Pyro TIE Fighter, which now brings us to this little bit of terrific, just fucking nuts. Maybe triple fucking nuts.
386.
Yeah. Holy dear sweet George Lucas, who art in heaven, what have you done? It's a we
got him right here. Let's ask him, Dave.
Oh, ladies and gentlemen, please give us 1 star as we welcome Mr. George Lucas. Brought to you by anyway,
Julian's.
Oh, good. I'm glad they're sticking with us. It's, you know, I don't think they're going to be happy when they hear the show, but I don't know who's less happy, Julian's paying for the Prop Store show or Prop Store being sponsored by Julian's. Who's angrier?
I don't know.
This thing,
the consigner of the Muhammad Ali shorts, I think.
Yes, exactly. The listener listening to me giggle at my own joke. But this thing is incredible, and I don't even know what to say. I think we're going to maybe need another show to just, maybe you and I could just do a show and talk about me talking about this.
We were actually talking about doing maybe like a side episode or like a bonus feature or something.
Is there a way we could do like a bonus episode just for subscribers? Is there a way, can we do that somehow, that like if you're not
we would
subscribed,
have to have a Patreon thing? Yeah.
No, there's got to be a way. Someone's got to figure out a way. Well, can't there be a way that like we can look at the subscribers, like well, we're gonna figure something out. There's got to be a way to do a special episode.
Just email it to them.
Yeah, somehow. I don't know, but subscribe but because when things like this, we do this all the time, you and I, which is we will talk a piece through, and not just like the merits of the piece, but like what it means and what it would mean for our collection, and again, what I might sell and whatever. And let's just record it and let's just like do it and see what happens. I mean, it'll either be the best episode ever or the worst episode ever. But I think when we get through with this catalog, we'll do it like in the next week or two. So it won't be, I don't think it'll be this. It's certainly not going to be this episode. It's probably not going to be the next episode, but a special bonus episode, which is just like, maybe we pick 2 pieces. Maybe we pick this and you pick one and we just like, we talk it down. Yeah. I don't know. You're in a different situation. You've got like money to play with. You got wonderful house money to play with. I'm very jealous because you consigned and I didn't. I don't know what to say. This thing is insane. I'm stealing from my own joke that I say in the, please watch me seeing this thing at Prop Store. Watch our YouTube thing on our YouTube channel. Subscribe to that as well, but you can watch us at the Stuff Dreams Are Made Of YouTube channel. And basically, all I will say is the last guy that bid against me and won was Paul Allen, and he's dead now. So bid at your own risk is all I can say. That's all I can say.
That's very true.
Words to the wise.
Is there? Do you think there's like a Tutankhamun's curse thing going on there, Dave?
I'm saying is you beat me on a Star Wars prop, and 15 or 16 or 17 years later, you die of a disease you'd had all along and with no connection. So there you go. Yeah. I mean, if that's not a curse, I don't know what is.
It's related. But
what I'm saying is if you bid against me, one day you will die.
Correct.
Yes.
Yeah. I mean, that is fair.
Yeah.
That is fair. That's not a
This
threat.
thing,
That's a promise.
I honestly don't know what to say. This thing is insane. The number's
It's so
insane.
great.
The piece is
I'm looking
insane.
at it.
Yeah.
It's so great.
Part of me wants to say things like, well, it's not technically, one of the motion, the motion capture of miniatures, whatever.
Yeah.
I
What
can
did Red
say,
Leader ever
yeah,
do?
I can say all
Yeah.
of those things. I think if you, you may have noticed, it's missing. If you look in the fourth engine on the lower right, it's missing the extra fin there, so it's completely defective. I made this joke also already, so you're getting this is a reprise joke. So it's defective. Don't buy it. It's wait for one that
Use
has
it
all
all
four.
again, Dave.
Yeah, wait for one that has all four. Well, I don't know if anyone's really watching, and I want to get my mileage out of these jokes. I'm in it for the jokes. That's how you see, I pay for the props with the jokes. That's what it turns out.
Yes.
Make us laugh, funny man. Buy yourself an X-Wing.
Before I removed myself to go upstairs to my recording studio here tonight to record the podcast, my wife just sort of said, "Why are you still doing this?"
Yeah, why are you?
I said because it's fun. It is
it is this very strange thing of like this. I mean, we say it all the time. This is the phone call we would have had anyway, so we might as well record it and put it out there.
These are the days of our lives
for our 200 listeners. Seriously, could people please get some more people to watch this thing or come up with some ideas for how the world might find out about the show? Please. Do we need to talk about
because people find it and then they listen to it. They subscribe.
People like
and they
it. I think genuinely they like it.
It's a matter of finding it. Yeah.
But I don't know what to say about this thing. Can I ask you a question? If I wasn't sitting here with you, if I didn't exist, you didn't know me, whatever, would you be thinking about this piece?
No, but only because I feel like I have my Star Wars representation, and because I do really collect from such a broad base of, I have a lot of films that I'm interested in.
Sure.
I want to have representations of each of those films. I want to have big representations of them. I'm not looking for little dinky stuff, but I just feel like the money invested.
Sure.
Yeah. But I love it.
World where you
this needs to be in your collection.
World where you were sitting. I don't exist again. We don't know each other. Whatever. And you're never quite. You still haven't found the Stormtrooper helmet, and this shows up before those other Stormtrooper helmets show up in whatever every other auction. Whatever. Does this do anything for you, or at least are you thinking about it?
I mean,
it
certainly
does
something.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. I mean, it stirs everything in me, certainly. It comes to me as like this, and again, I know we're talking about me as a collector, but I keep deferring, but it just comes back to me as like you with one of the greatest non-George Lucas Star Wars collections in the whole world. A studio scale miniature is missing from your collection.
A studio scale
I don't know how
miniature is missing from my collection. Look, I will say the following. I am going to go for it. I bet I get outbid. I feel like this is going to be like, I don't know what this, I think this is going to be like some Peter Jackson, like Academy Museum shit. I don't know. I can't, I'm basing this, by the way, on literally nothing. I have no inside information. I just like, I'm trying not to get myself too excited because I just feel like this is me, like if I was like bidding on the 2001 ship. I don't know what else to say. I just don't. I don't think I'm prepared to spend $3 million to get it or something crazy like that. And I just I hate to say it, like I would love this more than anything, but boy, I don't know. I mean, look, I will be starting to figure this out. And again, I want to talk about this because I do want to talk about like what I'm going to do and what my number is, and we're going to try to. I think it'll be fun to do. But so we should record that bonus show. But boy,
let's save that. But it's
incredible.
Man. I mean, is this the best thing you've ever seen in a prop store catalog?
It's certainly up there. I'm trying to think the other things that they've had that are incredible, because obviously they've had some really great things.
Yeah.
For me, this is probably one of the best things I've ever seen in a store, in a catalog. Boy, yeah.
It's great.
insane. And as good as it looks here, I got to see it in person, and it looks even better. Except for that,
I love that photo of you
bottom
sort of salivating over it.
Yeah, I mean, if it had that missing piece, it would be incredible. Otherwise, now it's just a big piece of shit. And
waste of time.
The less said, the better. It is this insane thing where, because of this piece, and actually the number that I do believe it will take, I'm oddly paralyzed in that I don't honestly think, I think I have to cross everything off my list unless this gets a pre-auction bid that I see online that's so crazy that I can't bid on it. I'm not sure. Like, this is what's the lot number? Sorry, what's the lot number? This is lot 386. I think I now have to cross off everything on my list 1 through 385. Like, I can't bid on anything certainly before this. I mean, maybe after, maybe it goes for a bargain price and I'll regret not bidding, but I literally don't think I can bid on anything the first 385 lots. I mean, I don't think I can. I mean, it's a very strange feeling, but like not even anything, like everything must be conserved for this thing. Crazy.
Yeah. It's so good.
Yeah. But when I don't win, I'm going to go crazy on Starship Troopers or whatever the next S is. Cause I'll just going to go like shithouse nuts.
There you go. Get another Cantina mask.
Yes, exactly. Which, by the way, is incredible. And again, from the Beswick collection. I mean, I have a mask and hands, but this is incredible. A couple of really nice Mcqueen pieces. I mean, this is wonderful stuff. Unfinished Duros head, which we've seen before. The Mask Master from Beswick. That's really cool. Hold on, I'm going to cough now.
Yep.
Excuse me, I made my throat so dry looking at the X-Wing. I think I was salivating too much, and now I'm just out of moisture. That's just really neat. Some autograph posters.
394. My long hunted and not yet gotten.
Oh.
Hildebrandt UK quad.
It is lovely.
I'm tagging that because we'll see what's left in the
what's left in the kitty. Always great looking,
here.
Beautiful art, whatever. There are 2 auctions coming up tonight, actually, oddly jumping around, in sort of more of a autograph auction, but there's a Steve Grad, the longtime signature authenticator and Star Wars fan, is selling 2 Star Wars posters from his collection. They're the thinner, the insert ones. He's got one from Star Wars and one from Empire, and they're signed by, shitloads of cast and crew. And the Star Wars one has like it has Alec Guinness on it. It has what's his name, Grand Moff Tarkin.
Wow.
It has an old Mcqueen signature. I mean, it's really incredible. The Empire one is good too.
Anyway, are you thinking about that?
I'm definitely thinking about the Star Wars one in particular. It's funny. It has a few too many signatures for my taste. Like there's a couple I might not have gotten, but it is pretty wonderful. And I will be watching tonight, later on. But the autographed Hildebrandt remarked one made me think of that. Touring suit from Farmers. That's kind of neat. Yoda puppet hands. I don't know if Gino is watching. Maybe that would mean something. They're neat.
He's raising his little puppet hand.
That's kind of cool though. A whole bunch of really
Vader
nice,
sketch.
Yeah, really good looking Vader sketch of him leaping from Star Wars, from Empire.
$3.99. Yeah.
A bunch of some George Lucas notes about the Force and luminous beings, 405 on his George Lucas yellow paper. We are not material. We are luminous beings who are tied together by the Force. That's pretty cool. That looks like additional dialogue or something. Is that what it's saying? Script writing stage. I don't know if they're notes, or it could also be additional dialogue for Yoda or for Ben
Yeah.
Kenobi or something. I don't know.
Well, luminous beings are
yeah.
we, right?
Yes,
Not
exactly.
this
So
crude
not the
matter,
Yoda
right? Yeah.
text version, but certainly cool. A concept binder from Empire Strikes Back. I got one of those somewhere. Um, Yoda walking.
Norwegian crew jacket.
Oh, yep, we talked about that in our crew episode. Just
Mm,
the jacket, but really nice. And that's how you start. Then you piece it together. But that's kind of
right.
cool.
Right.
A pull, I guess, from the puppet molds. That's kind of interesting. Again, we talked about, the molds don't exist anymore. Is what do they call this? I did not know this was called a gimmer stick, but I did not know that.
I thought it was a cane.
Gimmer stick. That seems like one of those
Mm.
nonsensical, like Star Wars role playing encyclopedia things that they kind of came up with later. Like he's not Hammerhead,
Later, yeah.
he's Blobbity Bloob.
Yeah.
The stick is interesting. Hard pass. I be curious to know. It means a lot to me that Prop Store put this in. I want to know. I wonder if there's a source and whatever. I'll be asking some questions about that because I feel like they would not have put it in lightly. This is a piece that is certainly easy to fake. So I want to hear more about it. That's my own take on it. Rebel Bunker Bomb, something I missed out on years ago. It's always a fun one. Again, at least this is the post era, so perhaps I'll have money in my pocket as well after I lose. Production made Imperial.
Yeah, these are super cool.
Production made Imperial helmet. Some more Macquarie. This is nice. Luke and Vader. That's a nice little sketch.
Yeah,
there.
That's really cool.
More George Lucas writing on. 416. I'm a big fan of. I have a couple of these for other departments. I have a wardrobe one, but I just love this is the stuff that was on the stage doors and stuff, and I'm a fan. And it's the easiest way of putting it. I just love that kind of stuff.
So, just going back to Macquarie, Dave,
please.
for a second. I really want a great Macquarie piece. Can you just be my Macquarie sort of spirit guide?
I will.
When the right one comes along, can you just slap me and say, "Get that one"?
I will say the following, and again, I think really nice ones in this overall. There's a bunch of really nice ones, but I would actually at least keep my eye on 412, which is not a finished piece. Obviously it is a sketch, but as sketches go, and again, it's not giant. I mean, you can see the dimensions there. The page is 16 by 20, so they're not tiny, but that is a really energetic, there's a lot of life there as far as I'm concerned, of Vader and Luke. There's a lot going on there. Now it's not very designy per se. These is probably something he was doing for those for the concept paintings that at this point he was kind of done with the Star Wars movies. He kind of walked away from Jedi before it was finished and kind of came back to do the production paintings. So that might be a reason if you only want one or two to look for an earlier piece or look for something where he's figuring things out. You know what I mean? Like something where, I see he's figuring out what Star Wars looks like. You know what I mean? So that's you have to think about that. But I love the energy here. This has a lot of Macquarie goodness in this one. So wherever that fits in, but I will keep my eye out. There's one other fun one I'm on the next page. There's some more production made helmets. I don't know, not my thing, but this is a piece. Sorry, look at 421. This was for the Galoob Hoth Action Fleet stuff, and I love the pencils for that piece. Again, I'm not sure that's your one, but I do love that, and I'll just leave it at that.
What about the color study there?
That's neat too. I wouldn't do it without the other one. I mean, to me, they're a pair. In my mind, I would have sold them together, but I do think they're really neat. But I love how he worked that all out. It's a really nice scene and a nice angle, and very Macquarie. Like it feels like almost like a little bit like one of the later production paintings, especially the way he kind of cuts off the first AT-AT and gives you a sense of that scale so that you get a sense of those ones that you are seeing full behind you are huge, even though they're further back. There's a lot of what Macquarie does in these pieces that I'm a big fan of. So anyway, that's a nice one, but I will keep my eye out. I do think, like I said, I would keep my eye on those two because you might get, especially, the deals are always to be had. And those are nice. What else here? I'm going to shout this out just really quickly because um, J.W. Rensler, we've talked about him. We just talked about him in the last episode,
Mm-hmm.
passed away sadly. And they are selling things from his collection as well. So this is his set of the Frames book, which he and George Lucas basically put together. This is these giant, insane books, long out of print, where basically everything is, each page is a giant beautiful print of, a sort of a, what do you call it, a 35 millimeter frame of the original
Yeah.
saga. You need
From
to
the
like,
film.
you need to put gloves on and like kind of go through this thing.
Mm.
This is gorgeous. This is number 16. um with a bunch of stuff from him, and anyway, yeah, these, I don't know, there's something very, I have one of these, but I don't have Renslers, and this is a very cool thing. Plus obviously the money goes to his family, so that's a really cool thing too. And I think there's more Rensler stuff coming up later, but I wanted to just give that a shout out
Yes.
because he was such a good guy.
Yeah, and keep an eye
yeah.
out for the other things that they've consigned, because it does go to a good
I don't know
cause.
what any of these, they're calling these reference models.
No.
Yeah, pass for me. I think they're made from kits, but
I don't know. I guess they scan them
I
and
guess
then
so.
digitize them.
I'm stopping at 430. Green Crystal from the Superman 2
Yeah,
movie.
that's cool.
That is pretty excellent. Regular crystal as well next to it. I have a regular crystal. The green one I think is really special. I just a fan. Since I've been augmenting this episode with never written sketches. Did I ever tell you my Jor-El Superman sketch idea for Larry David when Larry David was on SNL? So how he puts it in, and then Jor-El appears to him and starts telling him about Earth and everything. And first he talks to him in the spaceship, but then when he puts the crystal in, he's like, I am Jor-El, your father, you are the last son of Krypton. And he sort of tells him about everything. Mm-hmm. The idea was, so someone would play Superman, puts the crystal in, and then Larry David, in the sparkling outfit with a Marlon Brando wig, appears as Jor-El. And he begins by telling him he's from this planet, whatever. And then he begins to talk about Earth. And then Larry Jor-El begins to get very annoyed with certain Earth customs and starts to go like, so for example, when you're in the express line, but they've got more people working the regular line than the express line, but you're paying for the express line. And it's just Jor-El getting very angry about very Larry David things that I regret not writing up. Anyway,
little Krypton your enthusiasm.
Yes, exactly. Curb your Krypton. I'm stopping in this little Terminator section, 433, 434. Let's talk about 433. We were just talking about wanting something from Terminator, like the robot or something.
An endo piece.
Yes, this is not the arm. I thought this, I had to stop and read this. I thought this was the arm from 2, the one that they sort of found ostensibly from 1, but it's not. This is like an arm from like a full-sized like Stan Winston full-size puppet made of metal that weighed a shitload, and this is the arm from it with like the full hands and stuff. This is incredible. I mean, this is insanely cool.
Yeah, it's really good. I mean, I've never seen an endo part, I don't think, at auction from the first film. Most of the endo
everything's
parts
always been from 2 and later. Rare.
Yeah. So this is definitely getting circled on my list here. This is awesome. And then
I'm circling.
Then if you go to the next page,
I'm circling the next one, which you have, and I'm very jealous of.
I do.
And it seemed,
so lay off my arm.
Well, I was going to say,
Dave,
now that you've moved to the UK, where I can't shoot and kill you with the Last Crusade gun and then sell it and frame someone else, this is really nice. And I guess when I don't win, I will cry my tears perhaps into the Terminator 1 jacket. It looks like it'll absorb a lot of tears. This is incredible. Yours is incredible.
This is really cool. Yeah. But this is screen matched, which
I thought I think you've screen matched yours, yes, or you think you can now?
Mine is threatening.
Okay.
Threatening to be screen matched. I need to do a little bit more research, and I think I need a bit of a higher quality, either still or rendering of the film to really do it. And I just need time, frankly, because it's not an easy thing. this particular one. But this one they've called screen matched, and it looks great. It looks just like mine. And look, these jackets are just it's the punk jacket from Terminator that he steals off Bill Paxton's buddy at the Griffith Observatory.
It's funny. I feel like for whatever reason, I feel like people remember the leather one more from 2 just because 2 made the bigger splash. But my brain always goes back to this one. It just does.
Also he puts on a leather one after Tech Noir when it gets all shot up. So I think it's a conflation of those two.
I think the leathers blend together. No, that's a good point. Good point. But this is what I remember on his arrival. Yeah.
Yeah, me too, because it's custom. It's like it's an off the rack sort of Vietnam era field jacket that they've custom, added detailing to the leather and the studs and the chain and all that. It makes it a unique to Terminator piece, which I think is wonderful.
Yeah, it's sorry, I apologize for 1 second. I'm just getting a text from my daughter. Okay, back to this. Sorry. It's incredible. It's from screen match from the movie. I just dig it. I am circling this with circling this with a dotted circle. Am I allowed to do that? Just to because
is she saying, why are you mortgaging my future?
She said, I don't understand. Why did I have to sign the college fund over? I don't get it. That's what she said. I don't. She's crazy.
Yeah.
Girls.
Yeah. You said, yeah, get a scholarship.
The 435 is the leather jacket from T2.
Guess you should have invested a little bit more in Bitcoin.
Or a little less.
I would say.
As the case may be.
Yeah, depending on the day. That's right.
This is really cool too. This is in crazy condition. This is beat up and then some. Wow.
Yeah.
But kind of wild.
Well, final scene.
I believe it was used.
Yeah. It does have that film use look to it. No, it's his leather jacket from the end of T2 right before he goes into the lava, and it's completely like torn and shot up.
Shredded,
just absolutely shredded. But it's very cool.
Really, really boy, another great movie. And it holds up also. A little long, but holds up.
Yeah.
This is fascinating. Yes, I do prefer the first one too.
436. I didn't know this existed.
I didn't either. This looks like a costume from something else. You know what this looks like? It looks like a costume not from Star Wars, but like when like other, like it's like this is a costume for like the Star Wars holiday special. Do you know what I mean? Or like or like when the Muppet Show sort of did like a Star Wars sketch and they just like, oh, get a guy in a shiny outfit or something. I was also going to say like
there's a THX thing going on here. Or like a bad Men in Black alien sort of thing going on.
Like somebody who's not front and center in the hangar at the Men in Black office, but kind of in the rear. And they've kind of painted him purple and he's wearing this suit with he's dragging some metal luggage or something like that. I did not know this thing existed. So it's pretty wonderful.
Or some luggage made of flesh, Dave, because that would be funny. This is the T-1000's liquid metal police uniform. So I guess it's an actual practical uniform that they made for him to, I guess they probably augmented digitally. I would guess
used like a frame of it. You know what I mean? Like for all we know.
Or transition.
Yes, exactly. In the transition
as he moves into the liquid form or out of the liquid form back into the uniform. But very cool, like cool just piece of old school Hollywood filmmaking. Lot 436 there.
I like all these Terminator pieces. I like the bullet-ridden T2 Patrick shirt. We've seen things like that before.
Yeah, I love those shirts.
All this stuff is really good. I mean, I agree. T1 is better than T2, but I still love T2. And funny, T1, was the one that snuck up on us. We didn't know what it was. But if you can, how old were you in T2? 1991. So how old are you for T2?
I was just shy of my 12th birthday. It was the first R-rated film I saw in the theater.
Okay. So
my dad took me to the theater.
Do you remember the insanity of the promotion of this? Like it was everything and everywhere. Yeah, it was.
Yeah, I had all the movie magazines leading up to it where they showed how they did everything. I was so freaking excited about it.
It was a full-on event. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it was a full-on event in a great way.
Just loved it.
And I'm sorry, I'm just skipping through all of the rest of these other things. I'm just jumping over. I didn't mind the Sarah.
Here's a great comedy piece.
Oh, where are you? Oh no, I was gonna say, I didn't mind the Sarah Connor Chronicles. I don't know if you ever watched any of that, the TV show, starring
I did a bit, yeah.
Lena Headey, who I had the pleasure of working with on Watergate as Sarah Connor, and I thought she was a badass Sarah Connor.
Yeah.
And actually, when because obviously, she was in the Game of Thrones, but I was trying to see other things that she did, and so I actually went back and watched a couple of episodes of the Sarah Connor Chronicles, just because I wanted to see her with her, with John, and like I wanted to see her playing some more, human and humane stuff, and it reminded me how much actually I like that show, and she's incredible, in White House Plumbers, but and a very great person too. But 448, the Something About Mary dog in the cast. That's a pretty fun piece. I like that.
I love that.
Yeah.
I love that puffer. Just cool.
That is pretty.
I might actually. I'm going to circle that because
really?
I love that movie and I love that prop.
That would look very good on the center of your coffee table behind you. That's where I would put it. Move the move the Taschen Star Wars book and just put that right there. Not even in a case, just sitting there. Some Titanic stuff. Oh, I'm stopping again because I just love calling some of these out. 453. Look at this. Oh, it's a replica. Never mind. Skip it. I forget it. Never mind. My bad. It's I thought it was from To Catch a Thief, and it's a replica, and I'm an idiot, and never mind. 454. A pyro. This could go with my pyro X-wing. This is Hollywood and Wolfman's Tomcat from Top Gun.
Original Top Gun, yeah.
I do, since COVID has happened, I have rented out movie theaters just for like my family and friends, so I don't have to see it with strangers. I've gone to one or two movies with like a mask on, like in full on, like, and not let my children like take the mask off or eat anything or whatever. And my criteria for movies these days is, if or when I get COVID and I die from it, will the movie have been worth it? And I just want to say I've bought my tickets for Top Gun 2, and I'm willing to die for Top Gun 2. That's how excited I am for it.
That's cool.
Maybe it lives up to it. I'm so excited. I feel like I can only be disappointed. But goddamn, I have my tickets and I'm prepared to die. So.
What will be a shame is that
let's get the season recorded before Top Gun 2, just in case.
Correct. I mean, we got to finish our commitment to Prop Store, but I will also say that it would be a real shame for your children to have to immediately sell the X-wing.
Maybe I can leave instructions
right after you win it, like hold on to it for 10 years or
sell
something,
everything
to the 50th
else.
anniversary or something.
Sell everything else while the X-wing goes down in value.
Yeah.
As a prop like that is bound to do, for those of you thinking about it as an investment, there's no way that thing holds its value. I mean, I think Star Wars props.
No, this is
Star Wars props, specifically pyro kind of models like that, are really your riskiest investment. I would steer clear.
Correct. And all the fans are.
They're dying. They're dying.
In movie
They're dying of COVID watching Top Gun. So, so you really want to steer clear. 458 Tron Identity Disc. I have one of these. I love these things. I love Tron.
Yeah, that is very cool.
There's nothing like a Frisbee with tape on it, and it's just fantastic.
Yeah. Can we do 460 and 461?
Oh,
I was intrigued
absolutely
by
can.
these.
I'm very intrigued by these too. By the way, a quick stop on. Where are you on Troy? I feel like we've talked about Troy before, but you like it, right? You're okay with it, or you're not enough?
No.
Okay.
No, I'm not okay with it.
I find it's a movie I watch, but I always want it to be better, but it's not.
Yeah.
How's that for an answer?
I think that's fair. Yeah, I think that's fair.
I did like Brad Pitt in it.
I think in the immediate shadow of Gladiator, I was so excited for it, and it's just simply not.
I like Brad Pitt. I'm not sure I like the rest of the movie. 460, 461. I love both of these things. I love True Lies. I love that movie.
Yeah.
And these are really cool. These are two Schwarzenegger. It's his Harry Tasker black military costume that he is this the one he uses at the top, or is this the one where he?
I think it's the beginning of the movie. Yeah, it's the cold.
But then
open.
He also kidnaps what's his name? Bill Paxton.
Paxton.
Yeah. Really love that movie. And then it's his sort of main costume with the jacket, which I thought was great.
The trench coat.
The trench coat. Yeah.
Yeah.
Very reasonably priced
awesome.
for movies that are like really killer Schwarzenegger movies. I think people forget how good these movies are.
Yeah, and it's Cameron too.
Yeah.
And I also don't know. I don't know what else you get from this movie, really. Like a full Schwarzenegger costume, like to me feels like there's your True Lies collection. To me.
I completely agree with this. These are very identifiable. I mean, again, you have to know the movie, but they're very identifiable. This to me, I'm sorry, this is now talking about movies again. True Lies to me is the lost opportunity. And I will just simply say, again, obviously maybe Cameron doesn't want to make sequels except to the Avatar movies, but this, not all of those crazy Terminator sequel after sequel after sequel. This was the movie that had more blood in it. You know what I mean? This was the movie I think you could have made a sequel or two and kind of followed that marriage through into the spy world further. I just think there was a lot
Mr.
more.
and Mrs. Smith,
Yes, exactly. There was a lot more to be had here. And I love this movie, and I agree with you. Instant collection. Really, really nice pieces. I'm going to stop on 464 because I'm just love that this exists. So this is I don't know what you call it, the pig nose from that episode of Eye of the Beholder from the Twilight Zone, 1960 Rod Serling. I asked about this piece because I saw this when I visited. The crew member, one of the people who applied the makeup kept this thing, and the daughter had it and put it in. And 1960, the original Twilight Zone. I mean,
and what an iconic episode too. It's like the episode,
I don't know if he's listening, but God damn it, somebody tell J.J. Abrams, hopefully you're listening. If you are not bidding on this like crazy, because I know you are a huge Twilight Zone fan, I know it has had a huge influence on you. If you are not buying this thing, you are crazy to not buy this thing. J.J. Abrams, pay attention to me. Listen to me. David Mandel, we've met a couple of times. You sort of know me. Hi there. You're sitting in the Bad Robot offices in that building down there on Pico or Olympic. It's Olympic. I won't give the address because I don't want you having stalker problems. But you love this movie. Buy this thing. It's incredible. You could mount it. I'm sure Tom Spina could put it on something, maybe like a thing that looks like the rest of it, like in gray, and then it's on there in a case. This is incredible. That is all J.J. Abrams. Back to your whatever you're working on, but goddamn, buy it.
And you met me once at the Spanish Embassy. There you go. Or the Spanish ambassador's house.
Spanish ambassador's house, exactly.
The Spanish, the U.S. ambassador.
Oh yes, yeah.
But I also think you should buy the pig nose thing. It's good.
I'm going to stop 466 just because a gun, Untouchables.
Yeah, are
gun.
you tempted?
I don't
to add on to your.
No, I have no memory of this. But by the way, look at the small print. Untouchables. This specific pistol was originally made for Wild Bill Kelso in Steven Spielberg's 1941. They are trying to catfish me. They are trying to catfish me with an Untouchables prop so that I buy it, and then they're like, "Aha! You have something from 1941." This is a trick. This is a catfish piece. It's an Untouchables gun, but they are trying to make you buy 1941 props. This is their only way they can do it. I will not fall for that, but I do love Untouchables. I don't remember this gun. I don't know. I don't think of that gun when I mean
that would have been the standard issue.
Yeah.
The in that era, the 1911, that would have been the standard issue that he would have carried around.
Standard issue G-Man gun. Yes, exactly.
Correct.
Yeah. Great. I mean, that's very cool. If I outbid you on the last one, buy this gun, and then you get a 2-for-1, or you get 1941, which is everybody's favorite. 472 Wonder Woman gauntlets from the original Linda Carter Wonder Woman. I think that's really fun. Various pieces of this costume. They have a couple of these, I think, at the Smithsonian that I got to see on display a couple of years ago. Not when I was there for our show, but when I was there as a tourist a few years ago. Linda Carter, just wonderful. They've got some other pieces too, but the bulletproof bracelets are just pretty fantastic. And as we come to the end of the alphabet, of course, if you're going to have 2001 silverware at the front, you have to have X-Files badges and Wolverine claws in the back.
I like the one. I like 475. I like the I Want to Believe poster. I've always wanted one of those from the X-Files.
I would want to know the source. I would want to know what
Yeah.
changed. I mean, it says there's some specific things.
Yeah.
I guess I'd want to, I don't know. I guess I'd want to know more. Again, I love the X-Files. I actually would bid on all of these things. I'm waiting. Maybe I'm a couple more years for people just to give up on the X-Files. I want to buy these things when I can get them for like $2,000. That's when I'm in. That's when I'm all in. But anyway, Wolverine claws, Zathura, a bunch of Zorro stuff, which is kind of fun. I like that first Zorro movie. That's a fun movie.
I do like that first movie. Yep.
This is looking good stuff. Yep. Sword Cane, Legend of Zorro.
His sword, Zorro's sword,
this looks
Zorro's
like
whip.
hero stuff. This is really nice looking.
Zorro's mask. I mean, there's a whole Zorro collection right in there for you. And that's Z. That's 485. That's the end 485. Of day one.
That's a tight 2 hours and 30 minutes. So I think we should. Are we ending episode 1 here? Do we play the game and then tune in next week? So yes, come back. We just had an off camera conversation, an off mic conversation. We're going to end episode 1 here, or episode whatever it is, but episode day 1 of the Prop Store catalog here, and then come back next week, and we will take you through days 2, 3, 4, and 5. And we're going to do all of that next week, but this is a lot to chew on. So this should
2, 3, and 4. Days 2 and 3 and 4.
I'm adding a fifth day.
We have not yet.
Adding a fifth day of all the things I need to sell to pay for the X-Wing. So that's
on the 5th day, Dave. Props rested, I think is the.
Is that how it worked?
The old adage.
Okay, good to know.
I think so.
Wow, that was insane. That was a lot of props. 485 lots, of which I'm paying no attention to 384 of them. But anyway, let's play the game. Did any movie jump out at you that you want to play the game for? Oh, good. I'm so excited.
And I think it's one. Yes, and I think it's one that we haven't played before, and we kind of got into discussion.
Oh, is it Empire Strikes Back?
It's Raiders of the Lost Ark.
Oh, good.
No, Terminator 1. Terminator 1.
Very nice.
Because I don't think we've talked about it specifically, and I think you and I both, really love that film particularly. And I'm, blank slate. You don't have anything.
Yeah.
You can go in and pluck anything out of that wonderful first movie. What is it?
Oof. I mean, the jacket that we just talked about is certainly one of the pieces. The second jacket is a piece as well. The sunglasses, I don't know if they'd stand on their own, but you know what I mean? When he has the eye.
But they're so unique.
Yes, they are so specific and unique that I feel like that would be pretty incredible. I gotta say, if the source was right, if you had it from and you could screen match it and whatnot, the either of them, but I would prefer the Polaroid. That's
cool.
The photo. Obviously it gets taken at the end, and he's carrying I really feel like I want the one from the future personally, but either of them.
Yeah.
Because it's a funny thing, even though the Terminator isn't in the photo, it is so representative of that movie and, the future, and the future is what we make it, and all of that. And the love story, which is why that movie works. I mean, it's, it's a crazy movie, but the love story is what makes that thing work. I mean, so I'm going to go for the Polaroid is ultimately my answer. How about you?
Okay.
Where are you?
Okay. I like all those answers. I will say also, my dorm freshman year of college, there was a girl lived on first floor. She was absolutely lovely. Her name was Sarah Connor.
Really?
And
that's hilarious.
It was the best every time we saw her.
I'm sure she did not get sick of that.
She had a really good sense of humor about it.
How quickly did she transfer?
If you're one of our listeners, hello. There was no place to
I don't
run.
think they let her listen to this podcast in the mental hospital that she's in, that you sent her to.
That I drove.
The catatonic state. Wait, we're playing Stuff Dreams Are Made Of. She moved her thumb. I think she's waking out of it. Yeah. Something about the voices are bringing her out of it.
It was 1997 in America, and movies were the forefront of the culture. There was there was nowhere to run.
Did she need to get a deadbolt to stop you lunatics from just pushing the door open every day, going, "Come with me if you want to live. Come with me if you want to live. You want to go? You want to go get lunch? Come with me if you want to live." Yeah.
Or just kicking her door open and shooting her with a water pistol. Yeah. So speaking of, I'm a gun guy. Colt 45 long slide with laser sight. That's it for me. The one from the poster. I actually spent a good amount of time trying to track that down because the sort of,
was there a story that you sort of gave you a clue kind of a thing?
Yeah. So the 45 long slide was around, basically still with the armor, but just the gun, which is cool because it's like a, silver sort of unique Colt, but it's that 1911 style with just a longer barrel, but very unique. The laser sight was custom built by a famous laser sight building company that was based in Southern California. And at some point in Wired magazine or something, there was an interview with a guy who was walking around on the floor, who was like, at that point, like the chief of operations of this company, and said, "Oh yeah, back in 1984, I made the laser sight for Terminator, and I still have it." And just made mention of it. And then I was just like, I went insane, and I was like trying to figure out, and he had this very common name, so trying to like LinkedIn and doing all my tricks, and I couldn't find a way. I think I found it eventually. I found a company email, and I emailed and then never got anything back. But in theory, that's out there, and I think it went in depth enough that there was a dummy one and then a working one, because the working one, it was such crazy technology at the time that there was actually this whole wire that ran up into Arnold's jacket with a battery pack.
For the laser.
Get it all
That's
self-contained into the.
Yep.
Yeah. So there was a dummy one for when the laser wasn't working, and then there was the working one, which was a whole like SFX ring. Both would be wonderful, just amazing. And to find the gun, or to find a representative model of the gun and put the sight on it, because really the sight is the prop.
So let's do an episode and hire my private eye and bring her on, and we'll hire my private eye.
Oh yeah,
let's do that.
That's really good. I like that.
Let's do that. I think that we should do that. Another future episode. So we got some good ones coming
all right
up.
Good.
Well, that's fantastic. I could have said gun. I also was thinking about like her driver's license, when he's I always think that's cool. And I'm guessing somewhere they must have made like a really shitty tech noir sign. Don't you think like that thing probably lifted out and is in somebody's
neon
office or somewhere? Yeah, I hope Cameron has that one. That's good.
The other answer would just be would be the endoskeleton, like the half scale or full scale,
the endoskeleton
or whatever it was
missing half an arm.
Missing his arm, that they puppeted through, and those were like guys moving it off screen. It was just it was crazy when you see the behind the scenes footage of them actually doing that, because they just didn't have any other way to do it. They didn't have that ability to like
stand there and then remove themselves from the frame the way they do now, or any of that kind of stuff.
So they're hiding off camera, so you never see the whole thing, and when you do, it's a stop motion thing, and just
which is cool, much smaller, but cool. And I'm assuming Cameron does have that, but anyway. Those are pretty great. So that'll wrap this up. Please follow us on all social media at Props Podcast. Email us at Ryan.
dreamsaremadeofpodcast@gmail.com.
Please give us 5 stars on the podcast. Subscribe to the podcast. Tell your friends to subscribe to the podcast. And you can watch this also on our YouTube channel, Stuff Dreams Are Made Of YouTube channel. Just do a search. You can watch this, and you can also watch me at Prop Store looking at a couple of choice items, and you get to see that as well. So you can watch both.
I haven't got to see that yet either, so I'm looking forward to seeing
I actually haven't seen the edited version yet, so I'm excited to see it. Check that all out, and we will be back next week with days 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and 9. Sponsored of the Prop Store
and our funerals.
Yes, sponsored by Julian's. Ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Judge.
See you next week.
Or not.